Chapter 262. Was it what she thought it was? However, Tang Bao did not think that way. She wanted to ask Di Hao Ian if he did not care about the defects on her body. She was a conservative person to begin with, let alone when it came to marriage. Why was Di Hao Ian so willing? Didn't he care about it too? Otherwise, why would he be so cold? In the end, Tang Bao did not ask the question. She instinctively did not want to face this question. When she returned to the ward, Tang Bao was about to look for her phone. "What do you want?" "My phone." "What's the matter?" "Nothing, just looking at it," Tang Bao said. "Lie down," Di Hao Ian said. Tang Bao fell onto the bed. Di Hao Ian's big hands hugged her body. He only let go after she lay down. Di Hao Ian handed his phone to Tang Bao. Tang Bao was stunned. The pink gold phone was exactly the same as the one Di Hao Ian gave her previously. However, the previous one was lost when she attended Yu Lianlian's party. It was impossible to find it. In other words, Di Hao Ian bought it for her again. Tang Bao took it and asked, "Where's my previous phone?" "I threw it away." Tang Bao was puzzled. "Threw it away? You threw it away? Why?" "I threw away my bag and phone." "Why?" Tang Bao was surprised. "You use that kind of thing?" "Those who don't know would think that T has gone bankrupt," Di Hao Ian said sternly with a cold expression. Tang Bao wanted to say that her bag and phone added up to a few thousand yuan. Although it could not be compared to the previous one, it was still a lot of money. She could not argue with Di Hao Ian about this. She only felt that Di Hao Ian's domineering and forceful attitude had not changed at all. In fact, it was getting more and more intense. Tang Bao turned on the phone in her hand. The software inside was exactly the same. If the villa hadn't collapsed, she wouldn't have been able to find her phone. She would have suspected that this was the same phone she had before. Messages came in one after another, all from Juan Malay. Tang Bao remembered that she had not contacted Juan Malay yet. She must be worried about him. However, she did not look for Juan Malay in front of Di Hao Ian. After Di Hao Ian left the ward, Tang Bao called Juan Malay. "Tang Bao," Juan Malay asked in disbelief. "That's me." "Damn, you still know to look for me? Are you still in the hospital? Are you okay?" "You know, I couldn't contact you, so I went to ask Zhou Jisen. How did you get shot?" "It's all because of that idiot Xiao Rue. She really wasn't bragging. She really knows how to shoot." Tang Bao's scalp went numb. "But fortunately, I'm lucky. Nothing happened to me. You don't have to worry. I could be discharged in 2 days." "You said it so lightly, but my mood is like a roller coaster." "Is it exciting?" Tang Bao asked proudly. "It's super exciting, but don't do such an exciting thing a second time. My heart can't take it." "I know. There won't be a second time." Juan Malay hesitated and asked, "Has the young master been taking care of you?" "Yes." Tang Bao pulled the corner of the pillow and replied through his nose. "Can you guys reconcile?" "No." "Why?" "It's already like this. The young master doesn't care. Why are you still so stubborn?" Juan Malay was so anxious that she kept walking in circles in the office. "How do you know that he doesn't care?" Tang Bao asked. I can tell. You can see through him? Can you stop bragging?" Tang Bao had been with Di Hao Ian for so long, but he still couldn't see through him. He was unfathomably deep. He was a man who would never show his emotions. How could Juan Malay see through him? Tang Bao thought of Di Hao Ian's reaction after she was shot. She wondered if Di Hao Ian would be so touched that he wouldn't care about anything because of her shielding him, including her and Di Junbai. But was this what Tang Bao wanted? Of course not. Tang Bao turned his head slightly and felt the figure behind him. Then he saw Di Hao Ian, who had come in at some point. His expression suddenly froze. How much of what she said had Di Hao Ian heard? Tang Bao immediately ended the call and pretended to play with his phone. Every nerve was paying attention to Di Hao Ian's movements. He didn't hear anything. He just felt that the light in front of him was blocked. Tang Bao's hands were lifted, and a shadow pressed down on him. Di Hao Ian's warm breath came over. It came out of the blue. Tang Bao couldn't react in time. She was still holding the phone in her hand. She exerted a little force because she was nervous. The flowing air seemed to have stopped. She felt like she was suffocating. Tang Bao trembled all over. After she was injured, this was the first time Di Hao Ian had come into contact with her like this. He was protecting her without any reservation. When Tang Bao felt that she was about to die, Di Hao Ian stepped back slightly. They were so close, as if they were only a millimeter apart. It was such a dangerous distance. They could touch each other again at any time. His deep and vast black eyes stared at her deeply. Tang Bao felt that her breathing had begun to become chaotic. She gasped for breath. Her watery eyes flashed with tears. She didn't dare to look at Di Hao Ian. Eat. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian in shock. Di Hao Ian really didn't say anything. He turned around and brought her food. Tang Bao thought that Di Hao Ian had something to say to her. To be exact, she wanted to question him. However, just as she asked that question, Di Hao Ian said, "Eat." In other words, Di Hao Ian really wouldn't ask her anything before she fully recovered. But Tang Bao didn't want that. When Di Hao Ian fed her food, Tang Bao didn't open her mouth to eat. Instead, she said, "Di Hao Ian, I admit that I took a bullet for you, but I don't know why I did that. Maybe it's the same as me taking a bullet for one Malay. It's just a kind instinct. You don't have to think anything else." Di Hao Ian stared at Tang Bao with his black eyes. That sharpness and depth seemed to drown Tang Bao. Tang Bao couldn't bear the suffocating stare. He blinked a few times to relieve the oppressive pressure. She didn't know if it was right to say that, but she wanted to say that to Di Hao Ian. She hoped that he could understand her feelings. Just as the air was about to suffocate her chest, Tang Bao heard Di Hao Ian's deep and emotionless voice. "I know." Tang Bao didn't know what Di Hao Ian meant. He knew her feelings. However, after Di Hao Ian said that, Tang Bao didn't know how to ask more. She couldn't see the unfathomable expression on Di Hao Ian's face. He only opened his mouth to eat when the food was served. But she felt unusually uncomfortable. Chapter 263. Why would she feel disappointed when she got the right answer? Thus, this topic did not come up again until she was discharged from the hospital. When she returned to the castle and entered the hall, she saw Li Yin and Zhang Li walking out. Li Yin's expression had always been serious, and he was also a person who did not show his emotions. However, when he saw Tang Bao, he still seemed to be relieved. As for Zhang Li, when he saw Tang Bao, he was about to cry. "Young madam, you made us so worried. How could we let you get injured like this?" "I'm fine. Sorry to have made you worry." Tang Bao was a little embarrassed. She was still in Di Hao Ian's arms. She could walk without much problem, but she was a little slow. However, Di Hao Ian insisted on carrying her. She had no choice. "What do you want to eat?" Di Hao Ian asked. Tang Bao came back to her senses and met Di Hao Ian's eyes. However, she was stunned by his deep gaze. "I want to eat noodles." Tang Bao turned her eyes slightly and said, "Young madam, let's eat some bird's nest porridge." Zhang Li said, "Why? This is not only nutritious, but it will also help the recovery of the wound. Your skin will be more delicate." "Okay, let's eat bird's nest porridge." Tang Bao did not want the scar to be too ugly. Di Hao Ian was a man, so it did not matter. However, for a girl, it was better to have a clean body. Tang Bao returned to the room and placed her on the bed. She leaned against the headboard in a slightly sideways position. The wound was healing well. She could lie down for a while, but not for too long. It would hurt after a long time. Tang Bao also cherished her life. She would lie sideways if she could. After the bird's nest porridge was cooked, Di Hao Ian brought it over. Then, Di Hao Ian wanted to feed her. "Di Hao Ian, I can do it myself." Tang Bao said, "Do you want to fall onto the bed?" Di Hao Ian's expression was stern. Tang Bao was displeased. She was just eating bird's nest porridge. Why would she eat in bed? She wasn't a child who didn't have strength. She was already feeling much better. But in the end, she couldn't resist Di Hao Ian and was fed spoonful after spoonful. Tang Bao felt that he had no problem sleeping alone. However, at night, Tang Bao was stunned when he saw Di Hao Ian in the room. Is Di Hao Ian going to sleep here? Was he worried that she would have problems sleeping? Tang Bao wanted to say that she could sleep alone, but he swallowed the words that were on the tip of his tongue. In her heart, she didn't want to do that, thus he followed his heart. When he saw Di Hao Ian coming over with the ointment, Tang Bao felt a little shy. When she returned to the castle, she still had to apply anti-inflammatory medicine on her wound. So this kind of thing must have been done by Di Hao Ian. Di Hao Ian was completely doing things his own way and didn't care about Tang Bao's thoughts at all. Could Tang Bao say that she didn't want to? She couldn't see the wound behind her, so she could only let Di Hao Ian apply it. In this way, almost all of her body was exposed to Di Hao Ian's eyes. Tang Bao's face was flushed, and she wanted to bury her face in the pillow. However, she thought that Di Hao Ian was only helping her apply the ointment. He probably didn't care about her anymore. Di Hao Ian's deep black eyes stared at Tang Bao's reaction. Di Hao Ian felt that his breathing was a little tight. Then, his gaze fell on the muzzle behind him. This wasn't the first time he applied the ointment, but every time he saw it, he felt a stabbing pain in his heart. It was as if this was a wound on his body. He wiped her wound with his most gentle movements, as if he was treating his treasure. Therefore, every time Di Hao Ian wiped Tang Bao, she felt an unbearable itch. It made her feel even more at a loss. After Di Hao Ian finished applying the ointment, he pasted the gauze on her wound. Tang Bao couldn't help but make a sound in her throat. However, her rationality was spurning her actions. She couldn't do this. She wanted to struggle and push Di Hao Ian away with her hand. In the next second, Di Hao Ian grabbed her hand and suppressed her struggling body. Di Hao Ian stared at her with his deep and sharp black eyes. Tang Bao gasped for breath and looked at him. She felt so vulnerable in front of him. It was as if she would be destroyed at any time. Why did you take the bullet for me? Tang Bao didn't expect Di Hao Ian to interrogate her with this question again. She replied timidly, "When we were in the hospital, I already told you, I want to hear the truth." Di Hao Ian was annoyed by Tang Bao. "That is the truth." "The truth?" Di Hao Ian stared at her with his deep black eyes for a moment and said, "If your current body allows it, I have a way to hear the truth myself." Tang Bao was shocked by the fierceness in his eyes. Di Hao Ian reached out and pinched Tang Bao's shoulder. His posture was domineering and his words were cold. "Who allowed you to take the bullet for me? Even if someone shoots at me, you're not allowed to take the bullet for me. Do you understand?" Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian. His black eyes seemed to be suppressing his nervous and violent emotions. Di Hao Ian, in fact, even if it was someone else, there is no one else. Di Hao Ian interrupted her forcefully. Tang Bao swallowed her words back into her stomach. "You can only have me and your heart in your eyes." Di Hao Ian asked. Tang Bao felt his grip tighten, forcing her to look at Di Hao Ian, not allowing her to evade his gaze. "But I did that kind of thing. Let me ask you, did you mean it?" Tang Bao bit her lip and shook her head. There were tears in her eyes. "No, I didn't want to. I didn't mean it." Tang Bao felt that she couldn't suppress the words in her heart anymore. Under Di Hao Ian's gentle attack, she was defeated. "That's good." Di Hao Ian's black eyes narrowed. His cold and hard heart relaxed as he waited for her answer. He was no longer so tense. "Don't you mind?" Tang Bao asked. She felt that no man would not mind. "I mind." After hearing the answer, Tang Bao knew that it was a normal answer, but his heart still hurt. If it is compared to giving up on you, it becomes unimportant. Tang Bao's heart, that was about to die, suddenly came back to life. But it still hurt. Her watery eyes stared at Di Hao Ian in a daze. She couldn't believe that he would say such a thing. Her eyes suddenly became hot, and tears welled up in her eyes. When Di Hao Ian pressed down on her and hugged her, tears fell from the corners of her eyes. Di Hao Ian's low and hoarse voice sounded in her ears. "Baby." Did this mean that they had reconciled? Did they bury the hatchet? Tang Bao didn't know. Or rather, even Tang Bao himself couldn't bury the hatchet. Chapter 264. She rested at home for 2 days, and Di Hao Ian accompanied her all the time. Di Hao Ian was still the same as before. He was overbearing and domineering when he needed to be. Tang Bao always had an illusion. Was it that the two of them had never been cold and distant? However, some things were just rooted there like roots. When Di Hao Ian was in the study, Tang Bao was sitting on the sofa in the hall, watching a movie. There was a pillow under her waist, but she avoided the wound. It was also comfortable to sit there. If it was not comfortable, Di Hao Ian would not allow her to sit like this. Zhongli came over with food. Young madam, the bird's nest porridge is ready. Tang Bao looked at the bird's nest in the bowl and asked, if I eat like this, will Di Hao Qian go bankrupt? These words made Zhongli laugh. How much is this? Young master, Di can't wait for you to go bankrupt, as long as you can eat. Yes, compared to the money Di Hao Qian earned, this was indeed not much. After the bird's nest porridge was finished, Zhongli had just taken away the bowl when Di Hao Ian came out of the study. He sat on the sofa. Tang Bao was in his arms. What are you doing? I'm fine sitting like this. Change to a more comfortable position. She sat sideways on Di Hao Ian's lap and leaned against his strong body. It was indeed very comfortable. She didn't have to worry about touching the wound, but she couldn't keep hugging him like this. Eating bird's nest is indeed effective. Di Hao Qian stared at Tang Bao's face and said, what's effective? Your face is flushed. Tang Bao was suddenly very shy. Is it? She didn't pay much attention to it. I heard that eating bird's nest will make your skin very tender. It seems that bird's nest is really effective, Di Hao Ian finished. Hearing Di Hao Ian's words, Tang Bao's heart skipped a beat. No. Tang Bao was shocked. Tang Bao wanted to struggle, but she was in Di Hao Ian's territory. How could she have the final say? Don't move. I just want to see if it's real or if the bird's nest is fake, Di Hao Ian said slowly. Tang Bao's face flushed red, and she was on guard against the maids coming and going. She was afraid that others would see her like this. Tang Bao was originally an inexperienced age, and his entire body was filled with vitality. Di said that on purpose, was just because he wanted to be with her. Especially when he saw Tang Bao blushing nervously, it was very cute. Di Hao Ian was very. Then, something went wrong. Tang Baoning, who was sitting on his lap, immediately felt all these changes. She was scared, was she? Tang Bao she. Di Hao Qian whispered, you are injured now. You can't move. I want to sit next to you, Tang Bao said with a black face and red cheeks. What did he mean by that? It was as if he was comforting her. Just sit like this. Why? Tang Bao thought. Can you not be so evil? Do you want others to see? Tang Bao's face was hot. Do you still care about what others think? If you really care, you shouldn't do this to me. Not want to talk about this topic, Tang Bao grabbed Di Hao Ian's presumptuous hand and found another topic. Di Hao Ian, I want Malay to come to the castle to see me. As long as you like it. Zhongli ran to the kitchen to find Li In and whispered, did you see that? Young madam is sitting on young master's lap. Don't you think they've reconciled? Li In also breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, but on the surface he said, this is between young master and young madam. We just need to do our own things. In the afternoon, Wan Malay came to the castle. When she saw Tang Bao standing on the lawn and eating fruit, she immediately ran up. She looked Tang Bao up and down. How is it? Is it as if nothing happened? Tang Bao asked with a smile. You still have a nerve to say that. You're too capable. You scared me. Fortunately, it was a false alarm. By the way, where are you injured? Tang Bao pointed to his waist. Here. Is it healed? Has it healed? It healed long ago, but it still needs to be recuperated. That's for sure. It's so serious. You need to recuperate more. Zhongli walked out and saw Wan Malay. He nodded and greeted her. Hello. Wan Malay immediately replied, hello. There was no ambiguity. This was because he was the butler of Di Hao Ian's castle. Di Hao Ian's butler was a senior executive. Outside, people in the upper-class society had a curry favor with him. Young madam, the bird's nest is ready. Tang Bao said to Wan Malay, let's eat together. Me too. It's more delicious for two people. Then, the two of them each had a bowl of bird's nest in the dining room. Wan Malay looked around and asked Tang Bao, I don't see the young master. Where's the young master? He's handling tea's affairs in the study room. Have you reconciled with the young master? This was what Wan Malay was more concerned about. You should be. What do you mean by should be? Tang Bao thought for a moment and said, Malay, let me tell you this. If Di Hao Qian does that with another woman one day, it's not his intention. But it still happened. Will I pretend that nothing happened? I won't, right? Your assumption is meaningless. The young master is so powerful. Who can hurt him? You don't know. I always have no confidence in front of him. Tang Bao looked at Wan Malay. Let me make another assumption. If you and Gu Linshan got married, and something happened to you, and Gu Linshan said that he didn't care, what would you think? Wan Malay moved her lips, but she didn't say anything, because she was asked by Tang Bao. Perhaps she should think about such a question carefully and then say it responsibly. Tang Bao, and she had never had a boyfriend. Girls always cared about their first time. They were especially conservative, to put it bluntly. Even if Tang Bao only hated, rejected, and disliked Di Haoyan, she would not do anything immoral in her marriage. Look, you think the same as me, right? Tang Bao asked, not surprised. Wan Malay's expression changed. She looked at Tang Bao and said, It's different. You don't think so? Chapter 265. Tang Bao held her chin weakly with her hand and stared blankly ahead. She was thinking about what she regretted the most. Why didn't she resist with all her might in that aluminum alloy shelter? If she resisted with her life, Di Junbai wouldn't have touched her. Actually, I think the biggest problem in this matter is Di Junbai. That's true. If he didn't care about you, wouldn't nothing have happened? He knew that you were married. If he really did that, didn't he think about the consequences? Wan Malay asked. Tang Bao stirred the bird's nest in her bowl with a spoon and said dejectedly, Don't talk about it. Let's eat. Tang Bao didn't want to mention Di Junbai because she didn't know how to evaluate Di Junbai. Of course, Di Junbai was at fault. Was she not responsible for it? In that muddle-headed situation at the time, Tang Bao didn't know if she was responsible for most of it. Did she take the initiative to pounce on Di Junbai? The two people talking in the restaurant didn't notice Di Haoyan, who appeared and left the restaurant. Wan Malay was originally in the hall with Tang Bao, watching TV and chatting. Later, when Di Haoyan entered the hall, Wan Malay tactfully left. Tang Bao acted as if she didn't see Di Haoyan's cold expression. She immediately pulled Wan Malay and said, Why don't you eat here? I'll get the car to send you back after lunch. Then she turned to Di Haoyan and said, Di Haoyan, is Gu Linshan still here? Yes. Tang Bao and Wan Malay were stuck together the whole afternoon. Di Haoyan's expression was not very good. Then ask Gu Linshan to come and eat too, okay? Tang Bao gave Wan Malay a look. Di Haoyan took out his cell phone and made a call as he left the hall. Wan Malay was extremely excited. Really? Is Gu Linshan really coming for dinner? If Di Haoyan didn't refuse, then Gu Linshan will definitely come. Before dinner, Gu Linshan punctually appeared in the castle. When his gaze fell on Wan Malay, his dark eyes were cold and indifferent, hiding his sharpness very well. As if nothing had happened, he sat down on the sofa and habitually took out a cigarette. No smoking. Di Haoyan stopped him. Gu Linshan paused in his action of pressing the lighter and looked towards Tang Bao. Tang Bao's eyes flickered, and he instinctively looked at Di Haoyan. She was nervous, because Gu Linshan always did strange things to her. However, she felt that since Wan Malay liked Gu Linshan, she could not be calculative with him. She also hoped that Gu Linshan would be able to see Wan Malay's charm. In fact, deep down in Tang Bao's heart, Gu Linshan's attitude towards her was just like playing with a kitten or a puppy. I remember now. You were shot, right? Gu Linshan's cold eyes fell on Tang Bao. I'm here today to visit a patient. It seems that you have almost recovered. Otherwise, why would you be in the mood to treat me to dinner? The last sentence was directed at Di Haoyan. Anyway, Di Haoyan's face was calm, and there was no other expression on it. It did not matter whether Gu Linshan was telling the truth or not. Are you hungry? Di Haoyan looked at Tang Bao. Tang Bao nodded. Yes, let's go. Di Haoyan uncrossed his long legs and stood up. When Tang Bao was about to get up, he pulled her back. Tang Bao's face was red. She was a little embarrassed to be so close to Di Haoyan in front of others. Tang Bao was thick-skinned in other matters. But when it came to matters between men and women, she had always been thin-skinned. When they arrived at the restaurant, they sat down to eat. I bought the lake in the south of the city, but I haven't thought about what to invest in it. During the meal, Gu Linshan suddenly talked about business matters. That area is worth 30 billion yuan. You can take your time to think about it, Di Hao Yin said after pondering for a while. Tang Bao almost choked on her own saliva. 30 billion yuan was said so easily and without any pressure. Did these two people not think of money as money? They did not even have that much paper. She secretly exchanged glances with Wan Malay, who was also shocked. They saw the shock in each other's eyes. Di Hao Yin paid attention to the food in Tang Bao's bowl. He forgot to take a bite out of it and helped her cut the meat. Tang Bao picked up the meat and stuffed it into her mouth. This very natural interaction fell into Gu Linshan's eyes. A cold light flashed across his eyes. Then he looked at Tang Bao and Wan Malay, who were sitting together. What do you two think we should invest in? Gu Linshan seemed to have no interest in the food in front of him. Tang Bao and Wan Malay both looked up at the same time. They looked at Gu Linshan. Tang Bao chewed the meat in his mouth. His face was expressionless. He kicked Wan Malay under the table. Wan Malay immediately came back to her senses and said, I think it's better to invest in real estate. Gu Linshan's lips curled into a cold smile. He looked at Tang Bao and said, What do you think? Don't ask me. I'm only suitable for sleeping and eating. Tang Bao didn't want to talk to Gu Linshan. He directly interrupted Gu Linshan's question. Gu Linshan looked at Tang Bao coldly. He didn't have any extra expression because he was interrupted. After a while, he started to eat. Tang Bao felt that if Di Hao Yin wasn't present, Gu Linshan's gaze would definitely do something to her. She instinctively looked at Di Hao Yin's expression. He was expressionless. She didn't know if Di Hao Yin would have any thoughts about her talking to Gu Linshan. After dinner, Wan Malay went to the bathroom. Just as he pulled up his pants and washed his hands, the door was pushed open. Wan Malay was shocked. When she saw Gu Linshan walking in, she was even more stunned. Why do you want to come in when he saw someone inside? Gu Linshan slammed the door shut. A pair of cold, black eyes stared at Wan Malay without saying a word. Do you want to use it? I've already prepared it. You can use it. Wan Malay wanted to escape. Gu Linshan tightened his grip on her arm and pulled her back without a word. What do you want? Wan Malay felt that she didn't offend him. You don't know what I want to do? Gu Linshan asked coldly. Just because you don't say it doesn't mean that I can't see it. Nothing can escape my eyes. I really don't know what you're talking about. Gu Linshan sneered. He raised his hand and placed it on Wan Malay's chin. He lifted it slightly and looked at her with a scrutinizing gaze. He didn't give her the slightest chance to avoid his gaze. Although your looks are average, you're not completely useless. At least being friends with Tang Bao won't be too boring. Wan Malay didn't understand what he meant. Was he humiliating her? Wan Malay felt that she had never been so close to Gu Linshan before. She had always liked Gu Linshan. Since he was the one who initiated it, she was also a girl who spoke her mind. She mustered up her courage and said, I like you. Gu Linshan was stunned. He didn't expect Wan Malay to confess. He let go of her with a sneer. Chapter 266. After Gu Linshan said coldly, he turned around and walked out of the bathroom. He did not come in to use the bathroom. He deliberately blocked Wan Malay's way. Tang Bao wanted to greet Wan Malay, but she was carried upstairs by the domineering Di Hao Yin. He put her on the bed. Tang Bao looked at the threatening face above and said, I'm being rude. I have to tell Malay. No need. I'll ask the driver to send her back. You need to rest. My wound is already healed. It's only after I say it. Aren't you being too domineering? Tang Bao pouted. Di Hao Yin lowered his head, which made Tang Bao obedient. Yes. Di Hao Yin pulled away slightly. Tang Bao's watery eyes were moist, which made her look even more adorable. I'm not domineering enough to you. Di Hao Yin's voice was hoarse, and his dark eyes were as deep as a lake. Tang Bao looked at him in confusion. I'll be even more domineering to you in the future. Tang Bao could not believe it. Why? He was already domineering to the extreme now. No matter how domineering he was, she was too pitiful. But Tang Bao did not know what Di Hao Yin was thinking. Di Hao Yin thought that if he had insisted on not allowing Tang Bao to attend the party that day, and if he had been more forceful, what happened later would not have happened. So, he was not domineering enough to Tang Bao. No reason. Di Hao Ian's words were simply irrefutable. Tang Bao bit her lip and looked unhappy. But it was useless. I'll get a towel. Di Hao Ian went to the bathroom after saying that. Tang Bao waited with her heart beating faster. Tang Bao was always nervous. After a while, Di Hao Ian came back with a hot towel. The Tang Bao wanted to say that she would do it herself, but she also knew that it would be useless. Tang Bao closed her eyes. She felt that it was not a towel, but Di Hao Ian's love for her. However, Tang Bao was still reluctant. She would think of what she had done with Di Junbai. Was someone like her worthy of his love? Would she still be able to give him the complete love she wanted? Di Hao Ian. Tang Bao shook his head. Di Hao Ian helped her wipe her face while comforting Tang Bao. It's okay. Relax. Tang Bao was so scared and nervous that he did not know what to do. She couldn't relax. She blushed and subconsciously held her breath. She was almost out of breath. In the past, he would not have taken such a long time and be so careful. This time, Di Hao Ian did it on purpose, until the Tang Bao was too sleepy. Only then did Di Hao Ian let go of her. His voice fell in her ear. I'm done. Tang Bao did not speak. She tilted her head and closed her eyes. She pretended to be asleep. She felt that she could not face it with a normal mentality. It was not until she felt the pressure on her body leave that she slowly opened her eyes. Di Hao Ian said that he minded what she did with Di Junbai, but he did not want to lose her. She was moved, but she also felt terrible. She only knew that she had let Di Hao Ian down. How could an arrogant man like him accept such a wife? But he was not willing to let go. If he said to let go, Tang Bao would definitely cooperate. Stay far away. There were tears in Tang Bao's eyes. She closed her eyes in pain. The next day, Tang Bao found that Juan Malay was calling her on her phone. She called back. Malay, I'm sorry. I only saw your call now. I was resting yesterday and didn't tell you. You're not in good health. You need to rest more. I want to tell you something. What? I confessed to Gu Linshan yesterday. Really? So what? What did he say? Tang Bao was happy. He rejected me. He said that he's not interested in me. TSK. What kind of woman is he interested in? I think he's blind. I'm the one who's dreaming. Juan Malay sighed. So you've given up? I'm not giving up. Your courage is commendable. It's true. I've already let him know that I like him. How can I take back my feelings after taking this step? So, I might as well like him until the end. Actually, I knew that he would reject me when I confessed. Juan Malay was not surprised. Could Tang Bao say that she was not surprised? But she still hoped that Gu Linshan would notice Juan Malay. That way, Juan Malay's secret love would not be buried without a trace. Wasn't there a saying that people should still have dreams? What if it came true? What a positive saying. So, she encouraged Juan Malay. Actually, I realized that Gu Linshan is not a superficial person. There are no sexy women around him at all. This means that he doesn't only like beautiful women. He cares more about interesting souls. Are you sure? Yes. But he said that I'm interesting yesterday, but he didn't say that he was interested in me. Do you think that means that he's noticed me? Yes. Otherwise, how would he know that you're interesting? So I have to work hard. After hanging up the phone, Tang Bao thought. Juan Malay confessed to Gu Linshan? She actually missed out on such an interesting thing when she went upstairs yesterday. There was a slight movement in the air. Di Hao Ian walked into the room. When he sat down, he hugged her and took the phone from her hand and put it aside. Tang Bao was already used to Di Hao Ian's domineering attitude and was not surprised. What do they talk about? Di Hao Ian asked. Tang Bao thought of something and said happily, Malay confessed to Gu Linshan. She's not suitable for Gu Linshan. Why? Trust me. Tang Bao's joy suddenly fell to the bottom. So, Malay doesn't stand a chance? No. Tang Bao still thought that Juan Malay just needed to work hard. After all, love also required hard work. She believed Di Hao Ian's words more. As long as Di Hao Ian said so with certainty, there was definitely no chance. After all, Di Hao Ian and Gu Linshan were friends. He definitely knew Gu Linshan. But how could she tell Juan Malay? You don't have to do anything. Let them do it, Di Hao Ian said as if he could read Tang Bao's mind. Half a month later, at night, Tang Bao stood in front of the bathroom mirror. The huge mirror reflected her clearly. There was also the bullet scar on her back. There was no need to apply medicine anymore. But when she looked at it, she felt a little depressed. How could it be removed? There should be a way to remove scars. But she heard that those scars could not be removed. It was just a psychological effect. Tang Bao lied to herself and covered the scar with 2 fingers. This way I can't see it. As Tang Bao muttered, the door was pushed open. Chapter 267. Tang Bao blushed and tried to stop Di Hao Ian. What are you doing? Washing up? Not yet. No reason? You don't want me to see your wound? Di Hao Ian hugged her. Tang Bao blushed and did not dare to look at herself in the mirror. She turned her face away and said, "What's there to see? There's a scar. Why don't you find a way to remove it for me? It's okay. Even if there's a scar, the person in my heart is still you." Di Hao Ian's voice was low and comforting. Tang Bao resisted and tried to dodge, but she could not avoid Di Hao Ian's approach. She said, "But I don't like it. Why don't you tattoo a flower on it for me? Can't you tell that it's a scar?" Di Hao Ian continued to comfort her gently. "Do you like to be beautiful so much? Of course. All girls like to be beautiful. Okay, I'll tattoo it for you." Di Hao Ian's voice was low and hoarse. Tang Bao's long eyelashes fluttered slightly. "You know how to? I can learn if I don't. There's no need to go through so much trouble. Can't they just find a tattoo artist? Then do you want others to see you?" "I don't agree," Di Hao Ian said domineeringly. Tang Bao looked away shyly. That was too serious, Di Hao Ian. The closer Di Hao Ian got to her, the more she resisted, because she would think of what she had done before. I want to go to the company tomorrow. I haven't been out for a long time." "You want to go out?" Di Hao Ian asked in a low voice. "Yes. Let me see if your waist is better." "It's already better," Tang Bao said. Just as the 2 of them were talking, Tang Bao felt a throbbing pain in her lower abdomen. "It hurts. What's wrong?" Di Hao Ian's body trembled. Tang Bao was in a daze. Did she have the feeling that her period was coming, and there was a stream of heat flowing down? "Were you feeling unwell?" Di Hao Ian's face was pale, and his voice was low. Tang Bao came back to his senses and looked at Di Hao Ian. Then he pushed him out of the room. "You go out first. I'll be done soon." Di Hao Ian was pushed out, and the bathroom door closed in front of him. Tang Bao pulled down his underwear. There was really blood on her underwear. She was really on her period. This is great. She wasn't pregnant. She was thinking too much. It was really just a cold. Although the director of the hospital said that there was nothing wrong with her body, her period never came. She always wondered if the director of the hospital had overlooked something and didn't find it. Now that her period had come, her heart was finally at ease. She actually took almost 2 months to come here. How could it be so scary? Tang Bao almost cried tears of joy. "Baby?" Di Hao Ian knocked on the door. He could go in directly, but he was afraid that Tang Bao would be in a bad mood. "I'm fine." Tang Bao suppressed his excitement and opened the door slightly. He stuck his head out and looked at Di Hao Ian. "I want to take a shower." "You can't come in. Are you hiding something from me?" Di Hao Ian stared at him with his sharp black eyes. Tang Bao shook his head. "No, you're not allowed to come in." After saying that, he closed the door. Di Hao Ian had been outside the whole time. Judging from Tang Bao's expression, he didn't seem to be feeling unwell. However, Tang Bao must have been hiding something just now. Why didn't she say anything? Until Tang Bao finished showering and walked out of the bathroom with a normal expression. "I'm done. You can go and take a shower," Tang Bao said as he climbed onto the bed. Before Di Hao Ian walked out of the bathroom, Tang Bao closed his eyes and pretended to be asleep. She was afraid of Di Hao Ian. Fortunately, after Di Hao Ian got onto the bed, he just hugged her and did nothing else. Tang Bao lowered her head and opened her eyes slightly. She wondered if Di Hao Ian was very disappointed. The next day, Di Hao Ian sent Tang Bao to the company. "If you feel unwell, you must tell me immediately." Before Tang Bao got out of the car, Di Hao Ian instructed her seriously. "If you don't and I find out, you'll have to stay in the castle for another month." "Got it. I'll definitely tell you." Tang Bao didn't want to be locked up in the castle forever. She was about to fall ill from boredom. When Tang Bao entered the office, Wan Malay was buried in work. She quietly walked to Wan Malay's side and didn't say anything. Wan Malay felt a shadow next to her. "Oh my God, that scared me to death." Wan Marai was startled. "I didn't scare you. I was just standing here." Tang Bao denied it and walked towards the desk. "You might as well not stand here." Wan Malay patted her chest and asked, "How could the young master bear to let you out?" "I'm fine now. Of course I can come out." "It's mainly because the young master is too worried about you." Tang Bao didn't say anything. "Didn't you and the young master make up? Why do you look unhappy?" Wan Malay looked at Tang Bao's expression and asked. Tang Bao sighed. "My period is here too. What's there to be unhappy about?" She just couldn't muster up the strength. "I told you, it's impossible to get pregnant. How can you be so unlucky?" Wan Malay was happy for her, but she could tell that Tang Bao wasn't in a good mood. Di Junbai's matter was probably a thorn in her heart. "Yes, God is very good to me. Yes, don't think too much now. If you feel that you owe the young master, then treat him better." "How better?" Tang Bao asked. "Take the initiative in everything," Wan Malay added. "I don't have experience." Tang Bao refused. She felt that she didn't need to take the initiative. Di Haoyan was already impatient. "Why don't I teach you?" Wan Malay suggested. "You have a boyfriend?" Tang Bao asked. "No. Didn't Gu Linshan reject me?" Tang Bao was silent. Should she tell Wan Malay the truth? But seeing Wan Malay being so proactive, would it hurt her? But if she didn't say it, she would feel sorry for Wan Malay. "What's wrong? Is there a problem?" Wan Malay asked when she saw that Tang Bao was unusually silent. "What do you think of Heju?" Tang Bao came back to her senses and asked. "What do you mean? You don't want me to get together with Heju, do you?" "There's no need. He's already on my blacklist." Tang Bao thought of Heju's cold appearance and felt that he might be single for the rest of his life, especially when he left Wan Malay alone on the road last time. It would be strange if Wan Malay liked him. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't beat Heju, Wan Malay immediately took action. Chapter 268. The cell phone on the desk rang. Tang Bao looked at it and picked it up. "What's wrong? What do you want to eat for lunch?" Di Haoyan's deep voice came through. Tang Bao looked at Wan Malay and said, "I'll eat outside with Malay." Di Haoyan's silence made Tang Bao feel pressured. In a moment, Di Haoyan's voice came again. "Don't eat anything." "Okay, I won't eat at that restaurant." After Tang Bao hung up the phone, Wan Malay was unhappy. "What are you doing?" "What?" "You're hiding from the young master." "No." Tang Bao denied it, but looking at the floor-to-ceiling window proved that she was lying. "You go eat with the young master." "I'm not going." "Then I'll eat alone." At noon, the two of them went out to eat. When they crossed the road, Tang Bao didn't look at the car, but he was pulled back by the quick-witted 10,000 mil eye. "What are you thinking about?" Tang Bao was in a daze and looked at Wan Malay in a daze. "What's wrong?" At that time, this was how I met Di Junbai, and then I fell in love with him. I just don't know when my heart came back. The young master hasn't let Di Junbai go yet. "No." Tang Bao shook his head, and she didn't dare to speak to Di Haoyan. Di Junbai was imprisoned. Then what about Di Haoyan? Tang Bao felt that no matter what he did, it would hurt people. After leaving tea, he prepared to pick up Tang Bao. When he entered the elevator, Di Haoyan ordered, "Let Di Junbai go." Now, Di Haoyan didn't say a word and walked out of the elevator. After getting into the car, Di Haoyan looked out of the window indifferently. With his temper, he could not wait to kill Di Junbai. Even if he was not sentenced to death, he should be locked up for life. However, if that was really the case, the knot in her heart would only grow heavier. After Di Junbai was released, he was injured. He didn't go back. Instead, he went to the hospital to treat his wound. Then, he went to the men's clothing store to change his clothes. When the clerk saw the bloodstains on his clothes, he was so shocked that he forgot to react. Di Junbai smiled. "Don't worry, I didn't break the law." Only then did the shop assistant apologetically bring him his clothes. Di Junbai returned home. The servants were all stunned. Di Junbai's expression did not change. It was as if he hadn't gone anywhere this month. When Liu Huai saw his son, who hadn't come back for a month, he immediately burst into tears. "You're finally back. I was worried to death." Di Junbai comforted Liu Huai and supported him with his hand. "I'm fine. I'm back now. Are you hurt? Where did you go? I've been looking for you for a month." When he said this, it meant that Liu Huai didn't know anything. Since that was the case, Di Junbai wouldn't say it out loud. "I was dealing with some personal matters. Even if you were dealing with something, you could not call home. Do you know how worried your family was?" "I know. I won't do it again." After comforting Liu Huai, Di Junbai returned to his room. The injuries on his body couldn't be seen at all. His appearance was still as good as usual. As soon as he took off his coat, there was a knock on the door. "Come in." It was Lan Wanru who opened the door and came in. When he saw Di Junbai, he was delighted. "Brother, you really back? I heard the commotion downstairs and asked Annie. I couldn't believe it, so I immediately came over. It's great that you're back. We were all worried about you." Di Junbai patted her shoulder. "I'm fine. Brother, actually, other than Annie, Uncle and I knew what happened. We just didn't know how to save you," Lan Wanru said. Di Junbai paused in the middle of unbuttoning his cufflinks. He restrained his emotions and said, "How did you know? I wanted to save you, so I moved into the castle. I only found out what happened when Brother Hao Yin and Tang Bao quarreled. However, I didn't tell Uncle. Uncle only knew that you were locked up by Brother Hao Yin, but he didn't know the reason." Lan Wanru looked at Di Junbai, who was silent, and seemed to be thinking about something. He said, "Brother, you really like Tang Bao. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done that, right?" "They divorced?" Di Junbai asked. "They didn't divorce. When I left the castle, the two of them were very cold and had a bad relationship. However, for some reason, they didn't divorce even when they didn't see each other anymore. As for now, I don't know what's going on. I didn't go to the castle after I came back. That's surprising. I'm surprised too, but I hope that Tang Bao will divorce and be with you," Lan Wanru said. "Don't you think I went too far?" Di Junbai asked. "Brother, you didn't do anything wrong when it comes to love. There's no reason to like someone. No matter what you do, I'll support you." "Thank you for your support." Di Junbai smiled. "Brother, are you hurt?" Lan Wanru asked. "A little. I went to the hospital. It's just a small injury. Don't let Auntie and the others know," Di Junbai said. "I won't tell them." Di Junbai really wanted to know about Tang Bao's current situation. However, he didn't ask Lan Wanru more. When Di Lingwei came back, he saw him and asked about the situation. Naturally, Di Junbai couldn't hide it and told him everything. Only when he asked for the reason, Di Junbai didn't say anything. Di Lingwei saw that he couldn't get an answer, so he didn't force him. When she took a shower at night, Tang Bao went into the bathroom when Di Hao Yin was in the study. It had been a week. Every day, she said that she was hiding from Di Hao Yin. Maybe. However, that was all she wanted. She didn't know how to face it calmly. She would always think of the wrong things she did. Tang Bao came out of the bathroom after taking a shower. She saw Di Hao Yin holding a box in his hand. She didn't know what was inside, but he put on the table. Seeing Tang Bao come out of the shower, Di Hao Yin glanced at her and didn't say anything. He went into the bathroom. It made Tang Bao feel very guilty. She went to the bed. After Di Hao Yin went into the bathroom, Tang Bao's gaze fell on the mysterious box. She didn't know what was inside. She couldn't help but have a strong sense of curiosity. She then got down from the bed with her bare feet. Her white feet made no sound as she stepped on the carpet, just like a cat. Then she opened the box. She saw a pen inside. After taking a closer look, it didn't look like it. At least, Tang Bao hadn't seen it before. After pondering for a long time, she still couldn't figure out anything. Before Di Hao Yin came out of the bathroom, Tang Bao had already laid back on the bed. Nothing seemed to have happened. Then she saw Di Hao Yin walk directly to the box after he came out of the bathroom. He took the box and returned to the bed. Tang Bao couldn't help but ask, "What's in the box?" "A tattoo pen." Tang Bao was stunned. It had been more than a week since the last time she mentioned the tattoo. Tang Bao had almost forgotten. Chapter 269. And from the looks of it, he really went to learn. However, she was still a little worried and asked, "How's your learning going?" Don't tell me I'm your lab rat. Don't worry, trust my skills, Di Hao Ian said confidently. Tang Bao should trust his skills. However, when she saw the sharp needle of the tattoo pen, her heart couldn't help but tremble, because she heard that tattoos could feel pain. Why don't we not get it? Anyway, I don't think I can see it at the back. Every time I take a shower, I close my eyes and don't look. Di Hao Ian saw that she was retreating and said, "Are you afraid of pain?" "I'm not afraid of pain. You have to give me some mental preparation." Well, Tang Bao was actually afraid of pain. However, she also wanted to save face, so she didn't want to tell the truth. "You have to get it done sooner or later. Let's start now." "I think I'd better not get it done. I won't get it done later." "No. Why? Didn't you say it's okay at the beginning?" Tang Bao asked in confusion. "Since you asked for it, I won't listen to you even if you ask me to stop halfway." As soon as Di Hao Qian said this, his long and narrow black eyes looked even more dangerous. Just as Tang Bao was stunned, she was flipped over with her back facing the sky, because her scar was at the back of her waist. Di Hao Qian opened the tattoo pen, and it made a small buzzing sound. "Di Hao Qian, wait a minute. I don't want to get it done. You're not allowed to do it for me." Tang Bao wanted to struggle. However, Di Hao Qian pressed down on her, and she couldn't move, especially when it was at the back where she couldn't see. People tend to be more fearful of dangers they can't see. "Don't move. It's my first time getting a tattoo. If you move, I won't be responsible." Di Hao Qian scared her, and this kind of medicine can't be washed off in a lifetime. "Then, don't tell me you don't want the tattoo anymore." Although Tang Bao said that his body was really stiff and he did not dare to move. If he accidentally tattooed the flower into a ruined flower, the medicine would never be able to wash it off. If she left it on her waist, it wouldn't be beautiful anymore. It would only make her look uglier. When Di Hao Ian's hand landed on her skin, Tang Bao asked anxiously, "Di Hao Qian, does it hurt? How painful was it?" "Will it hurt? There's anesthetic on it, so it won't hurt too much." "That means it's still painful." As Tang Bao spoke, Di Hao Ian did not give her any time to prepare and directly tattooed her. This was because if he said so, Tang Bao would be even more nervous. There was indeed a slight tingling sensation on his skin, but the pain was bearable. Therefore, Tang Bao pressed his little face against the pillow and relaxed his tense nerves. Di Hao Ian glanced at Tang Bao's expression and continued tattooing her. It took about 20 minutes. Di Hao Ian looked at his masterpiece with satisfaction and said, "It's done." Then he got out of bed and put away the tattoo pen. "So fast. What kind of flower did you tattoo?" Tang Bao turned around curiously to look behind her. "Di Hao Ian, did you tattoo a flower? Why doesn't it look like one?" Di Hao Ian did not say anything. When Tang Bao saw that he did not say a word, she became nervous. "What kind of mess did you tattoo on me?" Tang Bao said as she got out of bed in a panic and ran to the bathroom. She faced the mirror with her back facing it. There was a word tattooed there. Tang Bao stared at the word in a daze. How? What kind of flower was this? It was the word in the middle of Di Hao Ian's name. Di Hao Ian's tall figure leaned against the bathroom door frame and lazily looked at Tang Bao's reaction. He did not feel guilty at all for acting on his own initiative. "You don't like it?" Di Hao Ian asked. Tang Bao's face was hot, and she said, "You tattooed a word on my body. What is this? It's not as pretty as a flower." Of course, she knew in her heart that this was Di Hao Ian's possessiveness at work. She was too naive. She thought that he would really tattoo a flower on her. She underestimated Di Hao Ian's overbearing nature too much. Di Hao Ian did not say anything. Instead, he approached Tang Bao. His deep and sharp black eyes almost swallowed Tang Bao up. His slender and powerful hand lifted Tang Bao's face and looked at her possessively. "This word will always remind you who you belong to." Tang Bao certainly knew what he meant. However, when it came from Di Hao Ian's mouth, the huge pressure made Tang Bao breathless. How should she reply to Di Hao Ian's words? She couldn't say it because she didn't know what to say. When Di Hao Ian came over, Tang Bao instinctively turned around. She felt Di Hao Ian's movements freeze. Tang Bao couldn't bear the pressure in the air and said eagerly, "It's very late. I want to go to bed." Then, she escaped from Di Hao Ian's restraint, turned around, and ran out of the bathroom. Tang Bao, who was hiding under the quilt, didn't understand. Why could he tolerate her to such an extent the next day? She belonged to Di Hao Ian, but she betrayed him. Why did she have to keep his name on her body? Tang Bao didn't know what to do. She couldn't face Di Hao Ian, and she couldn't face herself. Di Hao Ian stood in the bathroom for a moment with a cold face, and then turned around gloomily. He walked to the bedside and forcefully pulled Tang Bao up from the bed. He looked at her with his dark eyes. Why don't you want to? Di Hao Ian looked at her intently. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian, tears flowing silently. Or are you thinking about him in your heart? Di Hao Ian asked coldly. I'm not. If that's the case, why don't you want to? Di Hao Ian asked again like a wounded and trapped beast. I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid that I'll disappoint you. I'm afraid that I won't do well. Tang Bao was worried about many things. Di Hao Ian, how can we go back to the past? No matter how much you do, what should have happened will not be less. Can you understand how I feel? Di Hao Ian stared at Tang Bao for a long time, and then hugged her tightly in his arms. I won't touch you. I'll sleep next door. Tang Bao's heart skipped a beat. She said, No, you can sleep here. Di Hao Ian didn't say anything. He let go of her and said, Go to sleep. Then he stood up and left the room. The room returned to silence. Only Tang Bao was breathing and her heart was aching. Di Hao Ian really went to the room next door. He didn't sleep. He lit a cigarette and stood on the balcony to smoke. It wasn't that he wanted to sleep here, but he had to sleep here. Perhaps the closer he got, the more pain Tang Bao would be in. Di Hao Ian could see that Tang Bao was very guilty about that incident. She even felt that she was dirty, so she was afraid that he would touch her. However, how could Di Hao Ian not want to touch the woman he wanted? Chapter 270. It was just like his temperament. He smoked until the second half of the night and went to Tang Bao's bedroom. Watching her fall asleep, he stood by the bed for a long time before leaving. Tang Bao woke up several times that night. Di Hao Ian was not there every time. Tang Bao did not want to get up. To be exact, she did not know how to face Di Hao Ian. Something like this happened yesterday. Tang Bao was like an ostrich, curled up under the blanket. Then she began to feel sleepy again. When she woke up, it was almost noon. When she went downstairs, Zhongli immediately came over and asked, Young madam, are you hungry? Actually, what Zhongli wanted to ask was, Young madam, why did you quarrel with young Master Di again? It's okay, I'm not very hungry. Tang Bao looked elsewhere and did not see Di Hao Ian. She did not even sense his aura. She did not know why, but as long as Di Hao Ian was in the castle, she could always feel it. Zhongli seemed to have seen through Tang Bao's thoughts and said, Young Master Di went out after breakfast. He told us not to knock on the door and let you sleep a little longer. Tang Bao did not say anything and lowered her gaze slightly. After lunch, Tang Bao went to the company. Wan Malay was used to Tang Bao's irregular work hours. Have you eaten? Tang Bao asked. No. Let's eat together. I've eaten. Tang Bao sat on the sofa and fiddled with her phone. Wan Malay leaned over and said, Anyway, it's all fun. Everyone chooses to play in the castle, right? That's the life of a princess. Who doesn't like it? Only you insist on coming to the company. I miss you. A day without you feels like 3 years. Tang Bao stared at her phone and said without looking up, You've been holding your phone since I arrived. You don't even look at me. How dare you say that? I've seen it, Tang Bao said without blushing. I'm going to eat. If I continue talking to you, I won't have to eat. Are you afraid that I'll hold you up? I'm afraid I'll be full from anger. Wouldn't that save you money for a meal? Wan Malay went to eat. Tang Bao played with his phone for a while and then put it aside. She wandered around the office, bored to death. Then, she walked out of the office and prepared to wander around the company. He thought that after playing around for a while, the Vankamillas should be finished. When she was at the elevator, she bumped into Zhou Jisen, who was about to go eat. President Tang. Tang Bao looked at him lazily. She clearly knew that she was not qualified to be President Tang. Every time this person saw her, he would call her by her name. Being stared at, Zhou Jisen remained calm and smiled. Have they remarried? Not yet. Are you going to remarry? I won't. If that's the case, wouldn't what happened that day be in vain? Tang Bao said sarcastically. Zhou Jisen didn't say anything. Everyone's heart was not calm after what happened that day. Tang Bao did not expect Zhou Jisen to say anything. After the elevator arrived, he went in. Zhou Jisen did not follow him. Tang Bao did not call him either. The elevator door slowly closed. Walking outside, there was no warm sun. The weather was gloomy. It seemed like it would rain at any time. In the end, Tang Bao left the company and went to the nearby supermarket to see if there was any milk that she liked to drink. However, she had just reached the entrance of the supermarket and had not yet entered. Someone called out to her, Tang Bao. The familiar voice made Tang Bao's back stiffen. She turned around and looked at Di Junbai, whom she had not seen for a long time, in shock. Don't you recognize me? Why are you so surprised? Di Junbai asked with a smile. Tang Bao looked at Di Junbai, who was approaching, and said after a long time, Were you locked up by Di Haoqian? Seems like you know. When did he let you go? Tang Bao asked. A week ago. A week ago? It had been such a long time. Why didn't Di Haoqian say a word? Why didn't he tell her? Chapter 271. Di Haoqian stared at her without blinking. Tang Bao went up to him directly. The two of them were so cold on this rainy day. But after being together, they slowly warmed up. Because Di Haoqian was tall, Tang Bao could only stand on tiptoe. Di Haoqian pushed her away, narrowed his eyes, and asked dangerously, Do you know what you're doing? Is it useless? Tang Bao asked, and then said a little gloomily, I wanted to comfort you. I didn't want to make you angry. I know you must be angry about what happened yesterday, so I ran over. She had not asked Di Haoqian why he let Di Junbai out. She felt that at this time, it was best not to ask anything. Di Haoqian looked at Tang Bao's watery eyes and looked at him pitifully. His cold and hard heart softened. Go back and take a shower. Then, he pulled Tang Bao and got into the car. In the car, Di Haoqian hugged Tang Bao in his arms and warmed her with his body to prevent her from catching a cold. Then, he wiped her hair with a towel. Her hair was messy from the towel, but it did not diminish her beautiful face. Her fair skin was even more translucent under the light. She was as tender as a fragile crystal. You're so stupid. Di Haoqian's expression turned ugly when he thought of Tang Bao standing helplessly in the rain. Don't you know to find a place where it's not raining? Tang Bao looked up at him. Di Haoqian, you'll be worried if I get wet in the rain, right? Di Haoqian was silent. If that's the case, I don't mind standing a little longer. Tang Bao, who was speechless, could only resist in her heart. This action was like Di Haoqian's heart to Tang Bao. It was always predatory. Tang Bao leaned weakly against Di Haoqian. Her eyes were half closed, and there were tears in them. She didn't know if she had made the right decision. However, she really did not want to treat Di Haoqian like this anymore. What Di Haoqian did for her only made her want to be closer to him. They arrived at the castle. After entering the room, Tang Bao looked at the dampness on his body, then looked at Di Haoqian uncomfortably and said, I'm going in to take a shower. Use the bathtub and soak for a longer time, Di Haoqian said. Tang Bao nodded, then turned around and went into the bathroom. After the bathtub was filled with water, Tang Bao soaked in it. The warm water immediately enveloped her body, making her feel very comfortable. Did Di Haoqian ask her to take a bath because he was worried that she would catch a cold? In any case, she did not want Di Haoqian to be so cold. It was as if he had returned to the way he was before. Tang Bao had clearly experienced that kind of torment, but he did not want to go through it again. That wouldn't solve the problem. It wouldn't solve the problem at all. It would only bring suffering to both sides. She did not want a Tang Bao soaked in the water for almost 20 minutes. She was reluctant to get up because of the temperature of the water. She sat in the bathtub, hugged her knees, and rested her chin on her knees. Her mind was wandering. Tang Bao felt the unfriendly surge in the air. She looked up and saw Di Haoqian, who had come in at some point. Tang Bao instantly tensed up and hugged himself tightly with both arms. You can use the shower. You've been in there for so long. What exactly are you doing? Di Hao Yin looked at her with his dark eyes. Tang Bao was stunned. When had she conveyed such a message inside? Ignoring Tang Bao's dissatisfaction, Di Hao Yin began to act on his own. The bathtub was very big, not to mention Di Hao Yin. It would be more than enough even if 5 more people were stuffed in it. Tang Bao blushed and turned around, wanting to lean to the other side. However, Di Hao Yin grabbed her waist. He pulled her back. Tang Bao returned to her original spot in an instant. Her heart was racing. Her breathing was unstable. I'll give you 3 seconds. If you want to leave after 3 seconds, you won't have a chance. Di Hao Yin's hoarse and sexy voice reverberated in the bathroom. Tang Bao's breathing became more rapid. 3 seconds? She hadn't reacted yet. Di Hao Yin's voice sounded again. 1. It sounded like a timer. Her heart was racing. Tang Bao's brain was buzzing. 2. Tang Bao wanted to leave, but her body didn't listen to her. What should she do? Just as Tang Bao was thinking about what to do and how to solve it. Time's up. So fast. Tang Bao's brain lost its ability to think. Even so, she was still nervous. What's wrong? She followed Di Hao Yin's gaze and looked into the water. Suddenly, her expression changed. Why is my period here again? Tang Bao was dumbfounded. Was her period messed up? Last time, it only came once in 2 months. This time, it had only ended a few days ago. Did he have to treat her like this? Di Hao Yin's face suddenly became extremely dark. His tense expression suppressed his anger. What's going on between you and Di Junbai? Tang Bao's expression froze. Why did he suddenly bring this up? Di Hao Yin still couldn't really let go, right? Even if he had said it in the beginning, when it really came to this, he would feel uncomfortable in his heart, right? Otherwise, why would he have such an expression? Tang Bao's heart throbbed in pain. If she had known, she would have resisted to the end. Then, things wouldn't have developed to the point where she was speechless. Chapter 272. She wanted to retreat, but Di Hao Yin stopped her and subdued her. He used his strength. Di Hao Yin tried to make his voice sound normal. Tell me, what happened that day? Did Di Junbai really touch you? Do you remember every detail? Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Yin in shock. Why did he even mention the details? Why didn't she understand what Di Hao Yin wanted to do? She thought that Di Hao Yin hated her and couldn't continue, so he stopped. But why did he ask about the details of that kind of thing? Could it be that he had some kind of hobby? Tang Bao's thinking was always different from ordinary people. Di Hao Yin saw Tang Bao's blank expression and suppressed his restless emotions. His expression was extremely ugly. He almost gritted his teeth and said, "Your first time is still with you. Don't you know?" Huh? Tang Bao was shocked by Di Hao Yin's words. How is that possible? Didn't Di Junbai and I already? Tang Bao was shocked by this change and could not come back to her senses for a long time. Did she not believe Di Hao Yin's words? And the blood in the water. She was completely dumbfounded. Di Hao Yin's expression was so gloomy that he almost tore Tang Bao apart. He wanted to see what was in her head. If the blood in the water was her period, then what was this? Di Hao Yin stepped out of the bathtub with his long legs, packed Tang Bao, carried her out of the bathroom, and threw her on the bed. Tang Bao was shocked. When she got on the bed and was free, she immediately pulled the quilt over to cover her body. She stared at Di Hao Yin, who was standing by the bed, defensively and fearfully. She looked to the side. Say it. Say what? Tang Bao lowered her gaze. Her mind was still in a daze. I don't know anything. You don't know. Di Hao Yin's voice was filled with anger. I really don't know. Tang Bao's voice trailed off. What exactly happened that day? Tell me clearly. That day, Tang Bao tried hard to recall what had happened that day. She didn't want to think about it before. However, things were not as she had imagined. She thought about it carefully. I've been drugged. I don't have any strength, and it's very uncomfortable. Then Di Junbai was there, followed by a wave of pain, and then I fainted. Where does it hurt? Body pain. It should be like this, right? Tang Bao thought hard, but he was not sure. When Di Hao Yin saw her expression, he knew that she didn't know what was going on either, so he went up and took action. Tang Bao was startled. Ah, what are you doing? It hurts. Di Hao Yin stared sharply at Tang Bao. There was a shallow scar on it. It was cut by a sharp object, but it was not serious. It was done on purpose. Di Hao Yin thought about the moment when the divine gate opened and saw the blood on the ground. Only now did he know that it was not the first time that Tang Bao bled. It was Di Junbai who did it for him to see. Di Hao Yin, what are you doing? Let go of me. Tang Bao was embarrassed to be stared at by someone. If I let you leave me today, I'll take your surname. Di Hao Yin's expression was frighteningly gloomy. Tang Bao's first reaction was to run. However, she couldn't run away at all. He had been waiting for this day for a long time. Tang Bao wailed and howled. After realizing that his trick did not work, Tang Bao immediately changed his tactic. Boo-hoo! You beast! You're not human. Tang Bao shouted and began to curse. I'll show you what a real human is. Di Hao Yin had never experienced such a change in his emotions. He thought that he had lost something and accepted it, only to realize that he had it all along. Was it Tang Bao's first time? Did he not mind? Of course, he minded, because he wanted to have her completely. Did Tang Bao have an affair? Did he not mind? Of course, he minded. No man would not mind this kind of thing. He had always been cold and arrogant, so he minded it 10 times more than ordinary people. Therefore, at this moment, Di Hao Yin was overjoyed. He hugged Tang Bao tightly, as if she was his precious treasure. He would never let her lose her and leave his arms again. After the painful punishment of Tang Bao, Di Hao Yin lowered his face and comforted her. Tang Bao was in so much pain that tears welled up in the corners of her eyes. Under Di Hao Yin's gentle comfort, the pain slowly dissipated. Instead, it was replaced by something that she could not bear. When Tang Bao woke up, she wondered if she was in heaven. Was she already dead? That was her first feeling. However, after the pain spread all over her body, she felt like she had come back from the dead. Her body felt like it had been run over by a large car. She had been severely injured from the inside out. Tang Bao felt so uncomfortable that she could not help but cry. You're awake? Tang Bao's beautiful brows furrowed. She turned her head with difficulty and looked at the tall figure standing by the bed. Di Hao Yin looked refreshed. Tang Bao complained tearfully. Di Hao Yin pressed down on her, forcing her to have nowhere to run. Don't worry, you don't have to go to the company for the next few days. Tang Bao looked at him in panic and asked, What do you mean? Didn't you say that I'm not human? Then I have to do something inhuman to show you. Tang Bao was shocked. I was wrong. You're human. You're human. Di Hao Yin's voice was heavy. He glanced at her coldly, turned around, and left. Tang Bao was left sitting on the bed, as if she had been hit hard. It was not what she thought, right? It cannot be, right? Tang Bao looked at the time on the bedside table. It was already past noon. It was almost 1 o'clock. Since last night until now? When did she start to sleep? Anyway, Tang Bao clearly remembered that she wanted to go home last night. Was he going to continue? Tang Bao felt the nerves all over her body tense up. She was so scared that she was stunned. Chapter 273. However, her body was in pain. Every movement made her frown. She was so uncomfortable that she could not help but want to cry out loud. If she continued in this state, could she still live? She would not be able to see the sun tomorrow, right? Just as one of her legs came out of the quilt, Di Hao Yin walked into the bedroom. Tang Bao was so scared that she immediately retracted her leg. She panicked like a thief. Di Hao Yin put the lunch in his hand aside. He watched Tang Bao's behavior unhurriedly. If you can walk out of here, it will be my incompetence, Di Hao Yin said arrogantly. If I can walk out of here, will you let me go? Tang Bao did not want to stay on the bed at all. That would kill her. It was too dangerous. Yes, this is what you said. Don't go back on your word. Tang Bao wanted to get out of bed, but she found that she could not. Can you help me get the glass of water? Tang Bao asked. Why are you wearing the glass of water? Tang Bao was shocked by Di Hao Yin's words. She made up her mind to leave this room. She could not help but calm her emotions. Didn't you say that as long as I can walk out of here, you will let me go? I can definitely walk out of here. Di Hao Yin sneered. It was as if he was laughing at Tang Bao for overestimating herself. He turned around and really wanted to get her a glass of water. After Tang Bao got the glass of water, she said, "Can you turn around?" Di Hao Ian did not comment. He just stood there and looked at her. Tang Bao had no choice. She could only hide under the quilt and put on her pajamas. This was what the so-called too weak to wear clothes meant. After putting on her pajamas with great difficulty, Tang Bao wanted to get out of bed. However, when her feet landed on the carpet and she tried to stand up with her hands on the floor, she suddenly fell forward. Di Hao Ian had already known that this would happen. He stretched out his arm and hooked her easily. Tang Bao was lying on Di Hao Ian's arm. Her arms supported the strength of her entire body. Tang Bao could not help but be shocked by the strength of Di Hao Ian's single hand. Tang Bao did not know which was heavier, her or the sofa. But if Di Hao Ian could lift the sofa easily, how could he not be able to lift her? Tang Bao felt like his head was about to explode. His face was flushed red, and he wished he could find a hole to hide in. Di Hao Ian picked up Tang Bao and put her back on the bed. "Why don't you give me another chance?" Tang Bao asked unwillingly. "No matter how many times I give you, it's still the same. Finish your meal. Maybe you'll have a chance." Di Hao Ian sat on the edge of the bed with a bowl in his hand. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian, who was feeding him. There was not a trace of unfamiliarity in his movements. He looked very normal. However, Tang Bao still felt a little uncomfortable. Although she was very tired now, she did not forget the things that made her happy yesterday. She felt that all of this was too ridiculous. She could not believe her eyes and ears. When Di Hao Ian put the meat to her mouth, Tang Bao did not open her mouth to eat. Instead, she asked, "Last night, was everything real?" "Yes. I was drugged that time, so I don't know what happened. I felt a sharp pain in my body, and then I passed out. Then nothing happened?" "Nothing happened. Are you disappointed?" Di Hao Ian looked at her with a gloomy expression. "What did I say that? I just felt that it was too surprising. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all," Tang Bao said disdainfully. She thought of something and asked in confusion. "Since Di Junbai did not touch me, you locked him up for so long. Didn't he say anything to you?" "I think he didn't say anything, but why?" This was what Di Hao Ian wanted to know. There was a cold luster in his dark eyes. He poked Tang Bao's tender lips with the meat on the chopsticks, indicating that she should eat it. Tang Bao came back to her senses and put the meat into her mouth. She chewed and swallowed it into her stomach. "Have you eaten? Only now do you remember to ask me if I've eaten?" Di Hao Ian's expression was not very good. It was not because he did not eat now that he was unhappy. It depended on whether Tang Bao cared about him or not. Tang Bao immediately said, "I'll eat by myself. You go and eat. I'll eat after I'm done feeding you." Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Ian's mood was really hard to please. It was different every now and then. He felt that she should have asked. Tang Bao was kind enough to let him eat, and then he insisted on feeding her before eating. If that was the case, what was the meaning of his expression just now? "Is there any more of this meat? I want to eat more." Tang Bao looked into the bowl eagerly. She had already eaten all the meat he liked. Di Hao Ian did not say anything. He stood up and walked out of the room. Then, he ordered the servant to bring the food for her. Di Hao Ian returned to the edge of the bed and continued to feed her. The person who brought the food in was Zhongli. After putting down the food, Zhongli turned around and left with his head lowered. No one looked at her, but her face turned red. Di Hao Ian fed her mouthful by mouthful, but his dark eyes were fixed on Tang Bao. His attention was attracted to her, but she had to rest first. However, the way Tang Bao moved was really cute and seductive. Di Hao Ian stretched out his long arm. Tang Bao seemed to be startled. She did not understand why Di Hao Ian started to go crazy again when she was eating normally. What was Di Hao Ian thinking? Could she still eat properly? She was not full yet. Tang Bao's face suddenly turned red. There was still food in her mouth that she had not swallowed, and it was all greasy. Tang Bao wanted to struggle, but she could not struggle no matter how hard she tried. Tang Bao did not struggle anymore. It was useless to struggle anyway. Her heart beat faster. Chapter 274. He wouldn't be like this. Something must have happened. Yu Songhwan knew her son too well. He wouldn't stay in the castle for so long for no reason. She also knew her son's temper better. Even if something happened, he wouldn't tell an outsider. He wouldn't let her know either. What happened was only known from other people's mouths. Meanwhile, in the castle, Yu Songhwan was having a good time with her daughter-in-law, who was worried about her son. A car stopped outside the castle, and the person who got out was Gu Linshan. He had a tall figure and was dressed in black. His aura was cold. After getting out of the car, he looked around coldly. Then, he walked into the castle. After entering the hall, he didn't see Di Haoyan. Actually, before coming to the castle, he had already been to the emperor's family. Only then did he know that Di Haoyan hadn't been to the emperor's family for half a month. He didn't call and came directly to the castle. "Young Master Gu, you're here." Lian immediately went up to greet him. "Where's Di Haoyan?" Lian hesitated for a moment, thinking about what to say. "Don't give me any excuses. If he's not in the emperor's family or anywhere else, he must be in the castle. Go and tell him that I'm here." Gu Linshan ordered expressionlessly. Then, he walked in the direction of the side hall. Seeing the sofa in the side hall, he was in a trance for a moment. At that time, the interaction between him and Tang Bao, who wanted to sneak attack him, was carried by him. That was really interesting. Lian thought for a moment and said, "Please wait for a moment. I'll go now." After saying that, Lian went upstairs. In fact, he was also afraid, but he couldn't afford to offend either side, so he had to bite the bullet and go. Standing in front of the door, he raised his hand and knocked on the door. "Young Master Di, young Master Gu is here." Di Haoyan, who was lying on the bed, was sweating profusely. Even when he heard the knock on the door, he didn't stop talking to Lian. Di Haoyan growled, "I don't have time. Ask him to get lost." Even through the door, Lian was shaken by the roar. He immediately left the place. Gu Linshan was sitting on the sofa in the side hall, drinking tea. Lian walked over and said, "Young Master Gu, young Master Di doesn't have time to see you now." "What do you mean by no time?" "What did he say?" "Exactly what he said." Gu Linshan's face was gloomy. Young Master Di's exact words were, "I don't have time. Ask him to get lost." Since Gu Linshan wanted to hear the exact words, Lian would, of course, tell him every word. Gu Linshan's face turned green. He stood up looking gloomy. "Don't have time?" "In the room with Tang Bao." "Yes." Gu Linshan turned around and left. However, the look on his face was as if he wanted to kill someone. Not long after Gu Linshan left, the landslide ended. Di Haoyan was about to hug Tang Bao to sleep for a while when there was another knock on the door. Di Haoyan thought it was Gu Linshan again and was about to scold him. "Young Master Di, old madam is here." Di Haoyan frowned. Tang Bao, who was in his arms, opened his eyes. He wanted to get out of bed. "Don't move. I'll go." "That's not good. I'd better go. Otherwise, Mom will be angry." Tang Bao thought of the last time when she hid in the room and refused to go out. Yu Songhwan was very unhappy. "Do you want me to carry you down?" Di Haoyan looked at her teasingly. Tang Bao was speechless. If she wanted to see Yu Songhwan in this state, she would rather stay in the room. It was better to stay in the room. Otherwise, it would be too embarrassing. Hence, she lay down again. Di Haoyan covered her with the blanket and said, "Sleep. Won't Mom be angry?" She was already angry the last time. "Hubby is here. What are you afraid of? Close your eyes." "Oh." Tang Bao closed her eyes obediently. Di Haoyan sat on the edge of the bed and looked at her. In less than a minute, the sound of even breathing could be heard. Tang Bao was already asleep. Di Haoyan went downstairs in his pajamas. He didn't want to hide what he was doing in the room. And in the castle, for the first time in half a month, everyone saw Di Haoyan come out of his room. "Young Master Di." Lian greeted him respectfully. Yu Songhwan was sitting quietly on the sofa in the hall, waiting. Di Haoyan sat on the sofa opposite her and leaned back lazily. "Why are you here all of a sudden? Can't I come to see you if I have nothing to do?" Yu Songhwan said and looked up and down at her son. He was wearing pajamas and didn't look like he was in trouble. In other words, nothing had happened to her son. He was just staying in the castle. However, Yu Songhwan still couldn't believe it. It had been half a month, not half a day. So, Yu Songhwan asked hesitantly, "Have you been staying in the castle recently? Haven't you gone out?" Yes, I wanted to rest, so I gave myself a holiday. You're still sleeping at this time? Yu Song-hwan asked. Her eyes weren't just for decoration. Of course, she could see that Di Hao-ian had just gotten out of bed. There's no need to change clothes in the room. Di Hao-ian's expression was so calm that it didn't seem suspicious at all. Yu Song-hwan looked around. Chapter 275. But Liam must have known that, so he didn't say anything to Zhongli. He turned around and left. Butler, why aren't you saying anything? Aren't you worried? Zhongli chased after him and asked. Liam didn't say a word. Tang Bao felt that it was difficult for her to turn over. As soon as she opened her eyes and regained her senses, she felt so uncomfortable that she wanted to cry. Uncomfortable. Di Hao-ian's voice was as gentle as a husky. However, Tang Bao felt that although Di Hao-ian's words were gentle, sometimes they weren't gentle at all. Do you still need to ask? Of course I'm uncomfortable. Tang Bao frowned and complained. Okay, I'll let you rest today, Di Hao-ian said mercifully. Really? Then can I go to the company today? Tang Bao was energized and her eyes were shining. She had been waiting for this moment for a long time. She didn't want to stay in the room. If she stayed any longer, she would go crazy. Di Hao-ian's dark eyes narrowed slightly, exuding a dangerous aura. So, you still have the strength to run to the company? No. Tang Bao felt that she didn't think through what she said before. Yes, if she really didn't have the strength, why would she run to the company? Could you take back what she said just now? It seems that you're not really uncomfortable. Di Hao-ian's face was filled with endless danger. No, I'm really uncomfortable, Tang Bao explained nervously. At the same time, she shrank back. However, she couldn't escape at all. Then, the shadow from above hit her in the face. Tang Bao, who was struggling, suddenly froze. You, what are you doing? We can eat in a while. Tang Bao was actually on the verge of collapse. Her desire to die was very strong. In the past, Tang Bao was so scared that she wanted to run away. It seemed that her intuition was right. It was even scarier than she thought. Tang Bao had no strength to speak. Who was the stronger one? She didn't do anything at all. Di Hao-ian was the dominant force. In any case, he could say whatever he wanted. It was time to eat. Tang Bao leaned against the headboard lazily, enjoying Di Hao-ian's feeding. She did not want to enjoy this kind of treatment at all. She couldn't move her entire body except for her mouth, which still had some strength to chew. Tang Bao asked weakly. I don't know, but I have to try, Di Hao-ian said calmly. Don't worry, baby. You won't fall. I won't allow it. Tang Bao's face instantly turned red, and he said angrily, I remember you said that we only have 3 months between us. How much do you owe me since the 3rd month and the 1st day? Di Hao-ian said matter-of-factly. As for Tang Bao, he was so shocked that his mouth was wide open and did not close for a long time. Are you kidding me? How much would he have to pay? No, that wasn't my fault. It was an accident. Tang Bao was unhappy. I never liked to joke. During this period of time, your ignorance has caused serious consequences. There's also anger. You'd better extinguish this anger obediently. Otherwise, don't walk out of here. Continue to reflect. I won't let you have the strength to walk out. Tang Bao opened his small mouth, but no words came out of it. Di Hao-ian's anger was real, because his face looked very cold. His black eyes were even more ferocious, like some kind of creature, especially terrifying. Di Hao-ian, you can't blame me for being ignorant. I didn't do that kind of thing. How could I tell what kind of pain it was? And I was drugged at that time, so I was delirious. Can your anger be extinguished? Tang Bao carefully looked at Di Hao-ian's face and said, Impossible. Di Hao-ian refused directly. Tang Bao heard this and immediately became angry. Di Hao-ian, I think you want to do it very much. You're just looking for an excuse. Don't think I can't tell. Di Hao-ian only needed to slap his chopsticks on the table. Tang Bao's body shrank back in fear. At this time, it was better to be a little timid, because Di Hao-ian would definitely do what he said. Tang Bao would not let him have his way. So, he could only sulk and not say anything. She waited for Di Hao-ian to feed her. Di Hao-ian saw her innocent look and blinked his big, watery eyes. His anger disappeared. He picked up his chopsticks and fed her again. After feeding Tang Bao, Di Hao Ian went to eat. Just as he was about to stand up, Tang Bao said, "Can you give me my phone?" Di Hao Ian helped her get her phone and then went to eat. There were no missed calls on the phone, but there were also text messages. They were all one Malays. Tang Bao hesitated for a long time and then called back. "Sorry, my phone is not with me. I didn't see your number." Tang Bao lied without blushing. "I think you're strange, so I called you," one Malay said. "How is it strange? Isn't it? In the past, you would only be away from the company for a day at most. It's been a few days. I thought you were going to report a missing person." Tang Bao blushed. "I have something to do. I won't be going to the company for the time being." When I asked Zhou Jisen, he told me the same thing. But looking at his expression, it didn't seem to be anything serious. "What's wrong with you? Can you still come to the company?" One Malay had to guess. After all, the relationship between Di Hao Ian and Tang Bao was so delicate. Who knew what kind of unmanageable things would happen? "It's nothing. What can happen to me? I'm just dealing with some personal matters." Tang Bao was a little embarrassed, to tell the truth. Thinking about what she had done in the past few days, she felt that life was ridiculous. "What personal matters can you have? Isn't it just something with the young master?" One Malay said as if she knew very well. "Why are you asking if you know?" Chapter 276. Now, even if Tang Bao could not see one Malay's face, he knew how wretched she was. "Tell me honestly, do you always let your imagination run wild? Aren't you the same? If I have a boyfriend, you'll also let your imagination run wild. That depends on who your boyfriend is. Gu Linshan, you're really not reserved at all. He didn't even agree to it." Tang Bao thought to himself, "If it were him, I wouldn't let my imagination run wild. Everyone has to have dreams, right? What if it comes true?" Wan Malay's words made Tang Bao speechless. "Actually, I think Zhou Jisen is not bad." Tang Bao scratched his forehead with his fingers and looked at the ceiling. "Can you not randomly pick a couple? If I really get together with Zhou Jisen, what will I get when I get a divorce? If I divorce a lawyer, I won't get anything." Tang Bao was laughing heartily when he was stunned by Di Hao Ian's sudden appearance in the bedroom. His laughter stopped abruptly. "Why are you here?" Tang Bao asked in horror. On the other end of the phone, Wan Malay suddenly felt that something was wrong and quickly hung up the phone. "I'm having my meal. Don't you know?" Di Hao Ian's sharp eyes stared at Tang Bao. "Don't you always eat downstairs?" Tang Bao felt that he was about to break down. "Who told you that? Then you've been eating in the living room for the past few days?" Tang Bao asked something that she could not believe. However, looking at Di Hao Ian's silent expression, she was shocked. "Then why didn't I hear anything? I even heard the door open and close. Didn't you go downstairs?" "That's the servant." Tang Bao's heart trembled. In other words, every time Di Hao Ian went to eat, she would lie in bed and scold Di Hao Ian. "Did Di Hao Ian hear all?" Tang Bao asked uncertainly. "Did you hear what I said earlier?" "I heard it clearly." "How did you scold me?" Di Hao Ian said expressionlessly. "Then why did you suddenly walk out this time when you pretended that you didn't hear anything?" Di Hao Ian's face darkened after Tang Bao asked that question. Even the air became oppressive. "You said that Zhou Jisen is not bad? I want to know what's so good about him." Di Hao Ian sat on the edge of the bed. Tang Bao had the illusion that his heavy body was pressing down on her. It made her breath catch for a moment. "I'm not saying that he's not bad. What I mean is, he's with Wan Malay, and they're not bad. I don't mean anything else. I'm just talking about this. Don't let me hear you praise other men in the future," Di Hao Ian said domineeringly. "You can only praise me. Remember that? Do you still need praise? Anyone with eyes can see your good points. I'm in contact with you every day, so I can see it even more clearly." Tang Bao quickly flattered. She tried to appease Di Hao Ian's unfriendly gaze. She did not know that she was not even allowed to praise people now. After saying that, Di Hao Ian's expression became better, but he was still expressionless. "Take a shower." "Huh? I don't want to take a shower," Tang Bao said immediately. "You're sweating all over. You won't feel comfortable sleeping at night." "It's okay. I'm quite comfortable." Anyway, the sweat has dried up. I can't feel it anymore. However, Di Hao Ian was more straightforward. He ignored her refusal. He went straight into the bathroom. Don't take a bath. Just take a shower. Tang Bao made such a request because she cleverly thought that taking a shower would take a long time. Bathing can dredge the muscles and bones. Aren't you feeling uncomfortable? It's good for you to take more baths, Di Hao Ian said. I think it's good for you. Tang Bao disagreed. Bathing was indeed very comfortable. She could take more baths, but with Di Hao Ian around, she would feel uncomfortable all over. But after her body relaxed and was wrapped in the warm water, the pores all over her body opened up. She enjoyed the massage of the hot water. Comfortable. Her eyes squinted lazily, like a kitten basking in the sun. Di Hao Ian supported his chin with one hand. His dark eyes stared at Tang Bao's red little face. He stared at her without blinking, but there was affection in his eyes. This moment of peace. Chapter 277. When Tang Bao woke up, it was already the next morning. To be exact, it was noon when the sun was high in the sky. Even after waking up, Tang Bao lay on the bed and did not want to move at all. Her eyes were fixed on the phone on the bedside table. She was thinking, should she call the police? If she went missing, would anyone notice her? Or should she look for Juan Malay? Ask Juan Malay to save her? She wanted to tell Juan Malay that if he did not come to save her, he would never see her again. Tang Bao stretched out her little hand so that I could not reach the bedside table, let alone her beautiful phone. I could only stare at her phone with grievance. She looked very pitiful. The bed behind her sank. Di Hao Ian pulled Tang Bao into his arms. Are you hungry? I don't want to talk. I don't have the strength to talk. I don't want to say a word now. Please don't talk to me. From now on, don't say a word to me because I don't have the strength anymore. Didn't you notice? I can't say a word. Every word seems to weigh 1,000 pounds. Now it's the last sentence. Di Hao Ian's voice was as low as a magnet. I'll let you rest today. I don't believe you. You say that you'll let me rest every day. Di Hao Ian listened to her description and only felt that she was interesting and cute. There was a gentle smile in his dark eyes. I promise that I won't move today. I'll let you rest. Tang Bao saw that he said it so confidently and could not help but feel secretly happy. Could it be that this time it was true? You said it. You can't go back on your words. If you don't, I won't believe you anymore. Okay. However, at night, Tang Bao, who was sleeping soundly, woke up because of the heat and found Di Hao Ian. Di Hao Ian, you don't keep your words. Have you forgotten what you said during the day? Tang Bao was angry. I did say that I won't do it today, but it's not today anymore. Di Hao Ian's voice was hoarse. What do you mean? Tang Bao was confused. She had just woken up. So how could she not be confused? Completely unaware of the situation, Di Hao Ian had already begun to enter the zone. Di Hao Ian stretched out his long arm, took his watch on the bedside table, and showed it to her. What time is this? 12:05? Today has already passed, so I didn't go back on my words. Tang Bao was dumbstruck. Yes, it really wasn't today. After 12 o'clock, it would be the next day. But she felt that her heart was broken. Was there need to calculate so clearly? Di Hao Ian couldn't wait any longer, as if he had been waiting for this moment to come. Did this person have to be so hateful? How deep was he? If he really wanted to scheme against him, Tang Bao felt that he would never be able to outsmart him in this lifetime. Di Lingwei went to Song Huan's residence. In the living room, the two of them sat down. How do you have time to come over? I haven't been here for a long time, so I came to take a look. I'm not as diligent as you, Huai. After he came back from your place last time, he told me to come and visit you. I've been busy in the company and didn't have the time. I hope sister-in-law doesn't mind. Di Lingwei said. Yu Songhuan smiled. Everyone has their own things to do. Wouldn't it be tiring to take care of this and that all day long? It's good enough that you guys just do your own things. Sister-in-law, you've been eating vegetarian and praying to Buddha, so you're healthy. Naturally, you can get whatever you want. I think I should let Wanru eat vegetarian and pray to Buddha with you. That way, her body will recover faster, Di Lingwei said. What's wrong? Is Wanru's body unwell again? It's been going back and forth. This time, It acted up, and she hasn't been well. Did something happen? Yu Songhuan saw that Di Lingyue seemed to have something to say, so he asked, Sister-in-law, you know how Wanru is. She is always like Hao Yin. She's extremely anxious whenever something happens to Hao Yin. Isn't she worried that her body is unwell again? When Yu Songhuan heard about his son, he immediately became nervous. What happened to Hao Yin? Don't worry, sister-in-law. Hao Yin is fine. It's just that it's been half a month since he went to tea. But it's not a big deal. He didn't go anywhere and just stayed in the castle. So he should be fine. Di Lingyue pretended to visit Yu Songhuan, but he told Yu Songhuan about Di Hao Yin not going to tea for half a month. What? You said he didn't go to tea for half a month? It's been too long. Did something happen? Yu Songhuan was worried. Chapter 278. He wouldn't be like this. Something must have happened. Yu Songhuan knew his son too well. He wouldn't stay in a castle for so long. He also knew his son's temper. Even if something happened, he wouldn't tell outsiders. He wouldn't let her know either. Everything that happened was learned from other people's mouths. At this moment, in the castle, Yu Songhuan was worried about his son and had a lot of fun with his daughter-in-law. A car stopped outside the castle, and Gu Linshan got out. He had a tall figure and was dressed in black. His aura was cold. After getting out of the car, he looked around coldly. Then, he walked into the castle. After entering the hall, he didn't see Di Hao Yin. Actually, before coming to the castle, he had already been to tea. Only then did he know that Di Hao Yin hadn't been to tea for half a month. He didn't call and came directly to the castle. Young Master Gu, you're here. Lian immediately went forward to greet him. Where's Di Hao Yin? Lian hesitated for a moment and was thinking about how to say it. Don't give me any excuses. If he's not in tea or anywhere else, he must be in the castle. Go and tell him that I'm here. Gu Linshan ordered expressionlessly. Then, he walked in the direction of the side hall. When he saw the sofa in the side hall, he was dazed for a moment. At that time, he had interacted with Tang Bao. When the Tang Bao wanted to sneak up on him, he picked him up and hugged him. That was really interesting. Lian thought for a moment and said, Please wait for a moment, young Master Gu. I'll go now. After saying that, Lian went upstairs. In fact, he was also afraid, but he couldn't offend either of them, so he had to bite the bullet and go. Standing in front of the door, he raised his hand and knocked. Young Master Di, young Master Gu is here. On the bed, Di Hao Yin was sweating profusely. Even when he heard the knock, he didn't stop talking to Lian. Di Hao Yin growled, I don't have time. Tell him to scram. Even though they were separated by a door, Lian was still shaken by the roar. He immediately left this place. Gu Linshan was sitting on the sofa in the side hall, drinking tea. Lian walked over and said, Young Master Gu, the Emperor doesn't have time to see you now. What do you mean no time? What did he say? Gu Linshan's face darkened. Young Master Di's original words were, I don't have time. Tell him to get lost. Since he wanted to hear the original words, Lian would naturally repeat them to him without missing a single word. Gu Linshan's face turned green. He stood up with a sinister aura. No time? With Tang Bao in the room? Yes. Gu Linshan turned and left. However, his expression was as if he wanted to kill someone. Not long after Gu Linshan left. Thus, ended a landslide and the earth cracked. Di Hao Yin was about to hug Tang Bao and sleep for a while when there was a knock on the door again. Di Hao Yin thought it was Gu Linshan again and was about to scold him. Young Master Di, old madam is here. Di Hao Yin frowned. Tang Bao, who was in his arms, opened his eyes. He wanted to get up. Don't move, I'll go. This isn't good. I'd better go, or else mother will be angry. Tang Bao thought of the last time. Yu Songhuan was very unhappy because she hid in the room and didn't go out. Do you want me to carry you down? Di Hao Yin looked at her teasingly and asked. Tang Bao was speechless. She was going to see Yu Songhuan like this. She might as well stay in the room. Otherwise, it would be too embarrassing. Thus, she lay down again. Di Hao Yin covered her with a blanket and said, Go to sleep. Will mother really not be angry? She was angry last time. Hubby is here. What are you afraid of? Close your eyes. Okay. Tang Bao closed his eyes obediently. Di Hao Yin sat on the edge of the bed and looked at her. In less than a minute, he heard the sound of even breathing. Tang Bao had already fallen asleep. Di Hao Ian went downstairs in his pajamas and didn't want to hide what he was doing in the room. And everyone in the castle saw Di Hao Ian walk out of his room for the first time in half a month. Young Master Di. Lian greeted him respectfully. Yu Songhuan was sitting quietly on the sofa in the hall and waiting. Di Hao Ian sat down on the sofa opposite him and leaned lazily. Why did you suddenly come over? Can I come over to see you, if there's nothing? Yu Songhuan finished speaking and looked at his son up and down. He was wearing pajamas, and his face didn't look like there was anything wrong. In other words, nothing happened to her son. Was he really just staying in the castle? However, Yu Songhuan still found it unbelievable. Half a month, not half a day. So Yu Songhuan asked hesitantly, have you been staying in the castle recently? You didn't go out? Yes, I was just about to rest, so I gave myself a break. You're still sleeping at this time? Yu Songhuan asked. Her eyes weren't for decoration. Of course, she could see that Di Hao Ian had just gotten out of bed. There's no need to change clothes in the room. Di Hao Ian's expression was so calm that no one doubted it. Yu Songhuan looked around. Chapter 279. Other people would have to put in a lot of effort to get close to T, and T might not even want them. She was lucky to be married to the leader of T. She saved herself a lot of shortcuts. This was Tang Bao's greatest ability, but she still looked down on her. She's sleeping. Yu Songhuan's expression turned ugly. Why is she sleeping every time I come? She's so rude. She's preparing to give birth to a grandson for you. Yu Songhuan was stunned. She's pregnant? Although she didn't like her, she would still like her grandson if she had a child. It would be the blood of the Di family. No, she's working on it, Di Haoqian said. Yu Songhuan finally understood why his son came down in his pajamas at this time. He couldn't help but glare at his son. Didn't you say that she's still young and you don't want her to get pregnant? Di Haoqian said lazily. I changed my mind. You want a child? Sort of. What do you mean, sort of? You're already 30 years old. You should have had a child long ago. It's okay to put the tea matter aside for now, but you shouldn't stay in the house for half a month. What do you want the people in T to think? Your second uncle has been eyeing you covetously. It's not like you don't know. So, you knew that I didn't go to T for half a month from second uncle. Di Hao Ian's eyes were cold. I know what he's thinking, but is it true that you didn't go to T? He wants to replace me. Even if I don't go to T for a month, he won't be able to. Di Hao Ian was expressionless. Since you know what you're doing, I won't say anything more. Yu Songhuan left the castle after he finished speaking. There was no expression on Di Hao Ian's face, but his black eyes were filled with coldness. When Tang Bao woke up, he found himself in Di Hao Ian's arms. She met Di Hao Ian's smiling black eyes. His voice was low and hoarse. I'm going to tea today. Rest well at home. Tang Bao thought of something and immediately came to a realization. You said that yesterday because you're going to tea, right? So you want me to go back on my word now? No, that's not what I meant. We really should go to tea, Tang Bao quickly said. She really wanted her old life. When Di Hao Ian got up, he warned her, don't go to the company without a good rest. If I find out, I won't forgive you. Do you think I have the strength to go to the company now? It's good that you know. Tang Bao. As soon as the Di Haoqian people, who had disappeared for a long time, appeared in tea, everyone was in a state of panic. The first unlucky one was, ask Di Junbai to come see me. Not long after, Di Junbai went to Di Haoqian's office. In the office, Di Haoqian sat on a black chair and looked at Di Junbai with a pair of dark eyes. What orders do you have, young master? Compared to Di Haoqian's cold expression, Di Junbai was calmer. It was as if he hadn't done anything wrong and was just Di Haoqian's subordinate. Why don't you guess why I've called you here? Di Junbai thought for a while and said, Young master, you're unpredictable. I can't guess. Di Haoqian stood up and unleashed his full power. His aura was frightening as he walked toward Di Junbai. He stood in front of him. His eagle eyes stared at him coldly. Chapter 280. Di Junbai's lips curled into a bitter smile. So, you already know. Actually, I'm not playing a game. I'm just thinking, how much do you care about the Tang Bao? Would you not want her because she's not a virgin? Would you divorce her because she was forced to betray you? It seems like you really care about her. Even if she did something wrong to you, you still want to have her. What right do you have to interfere in the matter between me and her? Di Hao Ian's face was dark. Brother, don't you know that I like her too? I gave her to you. Don't you think you should thank me? Di Junbai asked. Di Hao Ian stared coldly at Di Junbai. His face was expressionless, but his lack of expression only made the restlessness and jealousy in his heart even more unbridled. Because Di Junbai was telling the truth. Back then, he married the Tang Bao because of his means. Otherwise, the person that the Tang Bao would have married was Di Junbai. You better know your current status. She's my wife. You should call her sister-in-law. She will only belong to me in this lifetime. You have nothing to do with her. You don't have the ability to do that. Do you understand? Di Hao Qian said coldly. Understood. Don't let me know that you have other thoughts. Di Junbai, my patience is limited. She chose you in the end. In the future, I won't have any other thoughts. Get out. Di Hao Ian looked at him coldly. After Di Junbai left, Di Hao Ian's face was cold. No matter what happened in the past, the Tang Bao's heart and body now belonged to him. The Tang Bao belonged to him alone. It had nothing to do with anyone else. That was the most important thing. Di Junbai returned to his office and sat in his chair in a daze. Did he really regret not touching the Tang Bao that day? He had thought about this question. He didn't get an answer, but after leaving Di Hao Ian's office today, he felt that he was wrong to give up on the Tang Bao. Perhaps he was wrong from the very beginning, and he would continue to be wrong until the end. But he could no longer correct it. A knock on the door brought him back to reality. It was Di Lingwei. Why is Di Hao Ian looking for you? Nothing. I just wanted to ask about tea. You're obviously trying to fool me. If he really wanted to know about tea, would he ask you? Why did Di Hao Ian imprison you when you were hiding it from me from the beginning? I knew it had something to do with the party. I still don't understand. How did the villa get blown up for no reason? Who did it? What was his goal? Who is the person he wants to deal with? You didn't investigate? Di Junbai asked. I did, but I didn't find anything. Di Hao Ian will probably investigate too. I don't think there will be any good results. Di Lingwa looked at his calm son and asked, Are you sure you don't want to tell me about what happened that day? Di Junbai was silent for a while before saying, Nothing. Di Lingwa's expression was very ugly. He said, You're so embarrassed to talk about it. It should be about you and the Tang Bao, right? Don't think that I can't tell that you like her. Since you want her, why did you give it to someone else? She should belong to you. Just like T, Di Hao Ian would never get her. You didn't fight for anything, and in the end, everything went to him. How are you not as good as him? You're not as ruthless as him. That's your weakness. So you're going to give everything to him and leave yourself with nothing? Di Junbai, you'll regret it one day. After saying that, Di Lingwei stood up, turned around, and left. Di Junbai sat there alone with a cold expression. When Di Hao Ian wasn't in the castle, Tang Bao felt very comfortable. She rested on the bed for an afternoon. Then she tried to get off the bed. It felt a little unreal when her feet touched the ground. She calculated the time and realized that she hadn't gotten off the bed for half a month. If she told others, they wouldn't believe her. No matter how inexperienced Tang Bao was, she knew that no one would stay in bed for half a month after entering the bridal chamber. She really underestimated Di Hao Ian's ability. His demand was too scary. Tang Bao got off the bed and walked a few steps. She felt very tired all over. The ligaments that were tortured and pulled were especially sore. Fortunately, her ligaments were not bad. Otherwise, they would have been broken by Di Hao Ian. When Tang Bao walked to the door, she wondered if she should go out. Would she still have the face to go out? What would the servants in the castle think if she didn't go out for half a month? Di Hao Ian was thick-skinned, but she wasn't as thick-skinned as him. Tang Bao first opened the door a little and then stuck her head out. Then, her eyes met with Zhang Li's eyes outside. Young madam, you're already up? Are you hungry? I cooked bird's nest for you. Zhang Li suppressed his frightened little heart and asked. Tang Bao opened the door with a face full of sweat. Why are you standing at my door? It's so scary. Young madam, I just walked over. Zhongli expressed his innocence. Tang Bao touched his nose to hide it and asked, Is Di Haoqian back? Not yet. This is what young master ordered. Young master said that when young madam wakes up, she will be hungry, so he asked us to prepare it. Zhongli looked at Tang Bao with bright eyes. Tang Bao really couldn't understand Zhang Li's gaze and said, Bring it in. I'm really hungry. Zhang Li's eyes were shining because she heard the conversation between Di Haoyan and Yu Songhuan. She watched as Tang Bao sat down and ate the bird's nest bite by bite. She really couldn't help but ask, Young madam, are you ready to give birth? Puffed. Zhang Li either didn't say anything or directly choked her. Aya, young madam, are you okay? Zhang Li hurriedly asked. Tang Bao shook her head. It was just a choke. It wasn't serious. I'm fine, but who told you this? I heard young master and old madam say that. Moreover, young master and Madam Shun hadn't come out of their room for half a month. Weren't they working hard to give birth? Zhang Li felt embarrassed about this, so she didn't say it out loud. She was just shocked that the young master was so amazing. He had been fighting for half a month. What did Di Haoyan and his mother say? Tang Bao stopped eating the bird's nest and asked in disbelief. Old madam asked young master why young madam was still sleeping. Then young master said that young madam wanted to give birth to a grandson for old madam. When did she think about it? She still had time to think about it in half a month? I can tell that old madam is very happy. She was also very happy. Chapter 281. Besides, she wasn't ready yet. Was this what Di Haoyan said perfunctorily, or did he mean it? Tang Bao thought that Di Haoyan didn't seem to have taken any precautions in the past half a month. No, that might not be the case. Maybe she was thinking too much. How could she get pregnant in the first month? Young madam, aren't you going to eat it? You'd better eat it all. If you're preparing for pregnancy, bird's nest is very good for pregnant women and children. And if your belly gets bigger, there won't be any ugly patterns on your belly. Your skin will be better after giving birth, as if you've never given birth, Zhang Li said. Tang Bao looked at the bird's nest in the bowl. She thought to herself, why should she eat it? She wasn't going to get pregnant with Di Haoyan's child. Why should she eat it? But as she thought this, she began to feed herself spoonful by spoonful. Tang Bao was speechless. What the hell was going on? Was she really going to be a mother? When Di Haoyan returned to the castle and entered the room, Tang Bao was leaning on the bed and playing with her phone. Seeing the tall figure entering the bedroom, Tang Bao just raised her eyes and continued to play with her phone. Her phone was suddenly snatched away. Tang Bao was unhappy. Why'd you take my phone? Get back. You look like this when you see your husband come back. Is it itchy again? Did you tell your mother that I'm going to give birth to your child? Yes. You should be lying, right? Tang Bao observed Di Haoyan's expression and asked. It's true. Why? I'm still so young. Isn't it too early for you to want me to have a child? Tang Bao immediately pouted and said unhappily, Let nature take its course. I don't want to let nature take its course. No, you have to take precautions in the future. Otherwise, I won't let you touch me, Tang Bao said with a red face. Di Haoyan pinches her forehead with dissatisfaction, and his angular face is aggressive. You will realize it after you have a child. In the beginning, he did not want Tang Bao to have a child so soon. It's just like she said. However, after this incident, he finally wanted Tang Bao to have a child. Only after the baby was born could Tang Bao stay by his side and not think about leaving. My awareness is already very high now. Tang Bao tugged at Di Haoyan's shirt pitifully. Di Haoyan, I'm really not fit to have a child right now. I won't even raise him. How about 2 years later? A year later? How about half a year later? Don't try to bargain with me. There's no room for negotiation, Di Haoyan said firmly. He was traumatized by the 3-month deadline. Giving birth to a child could not be delayed. Di Haoyan ignored Tang Bao's aggrieved expression. No, it's too hard for me to give birth to a child. So the baby wants to be comforted. No matter how you comfort me, I'll still feel wronged. You have to give birth to the child obediently. The entire tea is yours, Di Haoyin said without hesitation. However, Tang Bao was stunned. Are you coaxing me? The entire tea? She could get the entire tea just by giving birth to a child? Oh my God, it couldn't be what she was thinking, right? However, Di Haoyin just glanced at her indifferently, turned around, and left the room. Tang Bao was left sitting on the bed with a confused expression. Soon, Di Haoyin returned to the room. A contract written in black and white was thrown in front of her. Tang Bao held it in her hand and read it from top to bottom. It was really a contract. It said that as long as she gave birth to a child, whether it was 1, 2, or a football team, the tea group would be hers. Tang Bao was so shocked that she forgot to turn her eyes. As long as you have tea, you can climb over my head. Now, do you still want to have a child? Yes. Sign it. Di Haoyin handed her a pen. Tang Bao didn't say anything and signed her name at the bottom right of the contract. Money was nothing to her, but if she could climb over Di Haoyin's head, she would have the final say in everything. This was too good. She could turn over a new leaf after giving birth to a child. It was so worth it. Di Haoyin looked at Tang Bao, who had signed the contract. Her face was shining as she held the contract. His dark eyes couldn't help but have a smile and deep calculation. To be able to take out the contract so quickly, he had already prepared in advance. He knew that Tang Bao would not be willing to give birth to a child. As long as he wanted it, there was nothing he couldn't get. This little thing would never be able to escape from his grasp. At night, when Di Haoyin went to bed, Tang Bao immediately said, "You're not allowed. We'll sleep separately." It was safer this way. It was better to stay away from Di Haoyin. This person was too dangerous. If I want to, it's useless even if I sleep in the company. Di Haoyin, who was lying down, said, "Come here obediently. Didn't you say that you'll allow me to walk out of the room? If I come again, I won't be able to walk out of the room, let alone go to the company." Di Haoyin ignored Tang Bao's protest. "Do you want me to say it again?" Tang Bao had a look of forbearance on her face. She knew that Di Haoyin's words were a sign of danger. She was very unconvinced, but she still braced herself and burrowed into Di Haoyin's arms. Tang Bao's watery eyes were filled with surprise. She thought that Di Haoyin would continue. She was already prepared to break down. The corners of Di Haoyin's mouth curled up into a sexy and devilish smile. He tightened his arms and pressed the person in his arms against his chest. Then, he closed his eyes and let his heart be as still as water. Tang Bao really went to the company 3 days later. Chapter 282. Tang Bao rested for another day, so he went to the company on the 3rd day. What a rare guest. Wan Malay teased when she saw the company's name, Tang Bao. Tang Bao's little face blushed. "Yes, a rare guest. Do you welcome me?" Tang Bao glanced at her. "Of course you're welcome. If I knew you were coming to the company today, I would have bought you a bouquet of flowers," Wan Malay said, as if it was true. "How's the company recently?" Tang Bao sat down on the chair. "Everything is normal. Don't worry. Even if you rest at home for another half a month, nothing will happen to the company." Wan Malay leaned in front of the desk. "Tell me, is it your wedding night with the young master?" "How did you know?" Tang Bao was stunned. "Of course I know. Who am I? I'm the person closest to you. If I can't even see this, how can we be friends?" "Don't do it," Wan Malay said with a wretched expression. Tang Bao felt that his occasional wretchedness was led astray by Wan Malay. "That afternoon, after I went to eat, you went to look at the young master, right? What made you so self-aware and so proactive?" "How did you know?" Tang Bao was really curious. He always felt that Wan Malay was a gossip expert in the company. "Because the news of you going to tea to look for the young master has already spread to our company." "What?" Tang Bao was extremely surprised. "I was outside, but I didn't go in. What kind of place is tea? What could possibly escape their discerning eyes? Before you go in, you can pass by tea group's entrance, and they can see you. Gossipers are everywhere." Wan Malay held her face with both hands, her eyes full of stars. "The young master really loves you. No matter what you do to him, no matter how deep you hurt him, he won't let go of your hand. Look at you resting at home, for half a month. It's simply unimaginable. Tang Bao looked at Wan Malay and said, I suspect that you've had many boyfriends behind my back. No, I don't have a single boyfriend. I see one. At this moment, Tang Bao's phone screen lit up. She looked at it. It was a message from Master. When Van Malay's head came round, she immediately turned her back to her so that she might not be seen. After opening it, Tang Bao's face turned green. T's conference room. The higher-ups. Di Haoyan sat in the seat of the leader. He was high and mighty, cold and stern. Occasionally, he glanced at the higher-ups. Occasionally, he looked Malay Swintang of his eyes, Tang. The hand under the table was holding a phone and sending a message. The others were completely unaware and thought that it was just a look. It was because he was dissatisfied with all the higher-ups. Therefore, this meeting was very scary. However, they did not know that the person in charge was absent-minded. He was chatting with his wife about topics that were not suitable for children. Tang Bao threw her phone on the desk and leaned on the table, looking lifeless. What's wrong? You were in a good mood just now. Why are you like this in the blink of an eye? Are you angry with the young master? No. Tang Bao did not dare to be angry with Di Haoyan. If she was angry, she did not know what would happen to her. Walking out of the office, Tang Bao sauntered to the door of Zhou Zhishan's office. After thinking for a while, she pushed the door open and entered. In the company, only Tang Bao would enter Zhou Zhishan's office without knocking. Zhou Zhishan, who was dealing with work, was stunned. Then, he looked up and saw Tang Bao sauntering in with her hands in her trouser pockets. President Tang. Zhou Zhishan immediately stood up. Tang Bao sat down on the sofa and crossed her slender legs. You seem to be quite busy. Am I disturbing you? Not at all. As the mainstay of the company, Vice President Zhou is actually not busy. It's unbelievable, Tang Bao said with deep emotion. Zhou Zhishan sat down on the sofa opposite him. He looked at the leisurely Tang Bao. He felt that after seeing Tang Bao for half a month, he found that she was a little different. It seemed that she had reconciled with the young master. The key was that during the meeting at tea in the morning, he clearly felt that the young master was in a different mood. Although on the surface, she looked expressionless and cold. But that feeling could not be wrong. He could even feel that the young master was in a good mood. Why are you only staring at me? There's no flour on my face. No, I just feel that President Tang is in a good mood. There's nothing wrong with it. My mood has always been like this. Although she said that, Tang Bao thought in her heart, did she really seem to be in a good mood? She must not let anyone see that something was wrong. By the way, if your ex-wife were to return to the entertainment industry, would you be willing? Tang Bao suddenly asked. This is her business. It has nothing to do with me. I've already given you a chance. I won't ask this again next time. Think carefully. Tang Bao looked at Zhou Zhishan's expression. After a while, she stood up. She was ready to leave. Just as she was about to reach the office door, Zhou Zhishan said, that matter was Yu Lianlian's fault. If President Tang can't forgive her, that would be great. Zhou Zhishan, it seems that you still care about her. Previously, you said with a cold face that you wouldn't remarry her. I think it's only a matter of time, right? Tang Bao said with a smile on her face and left just like that. Chapter 283. Tang Bao was playing games at her desk and waiting for lunch. Then a phone on the desk rang. Tang Bao looked at it. Why was it Di Haoyan again? Wasn't he calling a little too frequently? He called several times in the morning. It was not like this in the past. She picked up the phone. Hello, what are you doing? A deep, magnetic voice came over, bringing with it a unique sense of intimidation. Guess. Playing games. Bingo. Tang Bao was speechless. Why did he ask if he knew what she was doing? I'm coming over to take you to lunch, Di Haoyan said. Aren't you busy? He had not entered tea for half a month. He should at least be busy on his first day. You don't need to eat because you're busy. My wife has to eat her fill. Tang Bao blushed. She felt a warm current in her heart. She heard the sound of the phone being hung up. She quickly threw the phone on the desk. It was as if it was a piece of red-hot iron. Tang Bao held her face in her hands. It was burning. She was done for. Malay, who had finished her work and was preparing for lunch, walked to Tang Bao's office. She asked, "What's with that expression? I know you're cute. Don't squeeze your face. There's no benefit in acting cute in front of me." Tang Bao looked at her from the corner of his eyes. Malay ignored him and asked, "What do you want to eat for lunch? It's my treat. Thank you for your hard work for half a month." "Don't mention half a month to me." Tang Bao knew what Malay meant and was angry. Okay. I won't mention it. Really? Tell me, what do you want to eat?" Tang Bao looked a little uncomfortable. "Di Hao Ian is coming over now. Take me out to eat." "All right, just treat what I said as a fart. I'm leaving." Malay waved her hand and left the office. Di Hao Ian came quickly. He arrived about 10 minutes after Malay left. She went straight into her office. When Tang Bao saw the tall and strong figure, he was stunned. "Tell me, I'll go downstairs." "Hungry?" "I'm not hungry." Tang Bao did not stand up. He was still playing the game in his hands. She frowned and looked like she was in a dilemma. Di Hao Ian walked over and stood beside her, watching her operate the game. He was beaten to a pulp on the screen. We lost again." Tang Bao howled in anger. "Let me." Di Hao Ian began to unbutton his cufflinks. Do you know how to do it?" Although Tang Bao asked doubtfully, he still stood up. "I've been fighting for the whole morning, and I still haven't been able to defeat him. The opponent is a god. He's really strong." Di Hao Ian shot a cold glance at Tang Bao. Tang Bao's neck shrank back. Was that a compliment? He was powerful to begin with. He couldn't even tell her the truth. "I'll help you bully him back." Di Hao Ian sat down on the chair. Tang Bao stood beside Di Hao Ian and explained to him how to play and how to upgrade his equipment. After that, she could only watch. She realized that Di Hao Ian was really an all-rounder. Not only was he the leader of T, but he could also play games. He was even better than her, an experienced player. His fingers were slender, strong, and very agile. It was like watching a god play games. Tang Bao's heart pounded. I won." Tang Bao jumped up and down happily. Di Hao Ian sat on the chair and turned to look at the happy Tang Bao. He smiled and asked, "Who's the best?" "You're the best." "Boo." Tang Bao was stunned and then blushed. Before he could say anything, he took a few steps back and said, "You're the best." Di Hao Ian was a dangerous person. She was afraid that he would attack her. "Remember, you're the best," Di Hao Ian said calmly as he buttoned his sleeves. "Actually, you don't have to," Tang Bao muttered softly. "Louder." Di Hao Ian, of course, heard her. He just wanted to see how brave she was. Did I say anything?" "I didn't say anything." Tang Bao's small body took 2 more steps back. "Then do you think that I can't catch you if you stay far away from me?" Di Hao Ian asked. Tang Bao, who had been seen through, blushed. When she saw Di Hao Ian stand up, his tall figure suddenly pressed down on her fragile little heart. She stood there and did not dare move. She looked at the dangerous person warily. As he got closer and closer, Tang Bao nervously closed her eyes. "Let's eat." Di Hao Ian walked past Tang Bao. When Tang Bao opened her eyes, Di Hao Ian had already walked out of the door. "So he's not doing anything, right? That's great." Tang Bao felt relieved and quickly followed him. Then, the two of them went downstairs together and got into the car. Along the way, Tang Bao thought that Di Hao Ian was quite well behaved and did not do anything to her. However, when they arrived at the restaurant, the door of the private room was pushed open. As soon as Tang Bao raised her leg, Di Hao Ian, who was standing behind her, pushed her in directly. Then, the door of the private room was slammed shut with a bang that shocked her heart. "Di Hao Ian, why are you pushing?" Tang Bao did not know what was going on. Before she could react, she was picked up. Chapter 284. When the dishes were served, they were all Tang Bao's favorites. She was quite frightened, so she had to use delicious food to calm her nerves and focus on the food. Sure enough, she was the happiest when she was eating delicious food. Tang Bao was focused. When the atmosphere became serious, Tang Bao thought of something and said to Di Hao Ian while eating, "Can you forget about Yulian Lian? It's not easy for her to get to where she is today. Moreover, I'm fine. She didn't do it on purpose. Is that okay? Di Hao Ian's eyes darkened. It depends on my mood. Tang Bao entered the office alone and saw Wan Malay holding her phone. He immediately leaned over. I'll stay at your house tonight. You have to do it even if you can't. Tang Bao didn't care. Wan Malay thought of something and immediately became excited. Is it because of the young master? Did he scare you away? Of course not. I quarreled with him, Tang Bao said without blushing. What? Quarreled again? Weren't the two of them having a meal together? He was having a meal, but he kept staring a little beauty and didn't care about my feelings at all. Tang Bao said angrily. It can't be, right? Isn't it always the young master who has a cold face when others stare at him? Why is it the other way around? It's hard to imagine. Wan Malay couldn't imagine that scene. Even if the young master knew that Tang Bao and Di Junbai did that kind of thing, he would forgive them. Why would he suddenly stare at others? It was too unrealistic. You're my only friend. If you don't care when I'm wronged, then you're too bad, understand? Tang Bao lectured her very seriously. Wan Malay was dumbfounded. She didn't seem to have said anything. Everything was said by Tang Bao, right? Get off work early today. Go shopping, eat, and then go home to your rented house. After Tang Bao finished speaking, he stood up. Then, he went to the bathroom. Make a phone call in the cubicle. Di Hao Ian, I'll go shopping and have a meal with Wan Malay in the afternoon, and then go back to the castle. Okay? Trying to run? How is that possible? What are you thinking? None at all. Besides, it's not like I can escape from your grasp. Tang Bao said as he tried to calm his heart that was beating wildly when he was lying. It's good that you know. So it's settled then? Tang Bao hung up the phone after he finished speaking. He was afraid that Di Hao Ian would object. After finishing the call, Tang Bao walked out of the cubicle. He was so frightened by the figure standing outside the cubicle that he took a few steps back. Oh my God! Wan Malay crossed her arms and sneered. Is this what you mean by quarreling with the young master? This? Tang Bao's eyes darted around. When the time comes, if the young master makes it impossible for me to live in D City, Tang Bao, it'll be your credit. You're exaggerating. With me around, he won't dare to do it. Tang Bao assured her. Are you still going to sleep at my place tonight? Wan Malay asked. Yes, but didn't you just say that you're going shopping and eating? You didn't say that you're staying at my place? It was obvious that Wan Malay had heard every word of Tang Bao's call. You don't understand. If I say that I'm not going back, Di Hao Ian will definitely come and catch me. If I tell him after I go to your house, he won't catch me. Are you sure? Wan Malay expressed her doubts. When the time comes, I'll say that you're afraid at night, and let me sleep with you for a night. Tang Bao had an expression that said, I've already thought about it. The two of them left the company early. They went shopping first. Wan Malay was absent-minded. It was the same when they were eating. Looking at Tang Bao eating without a care in the world, she said, You'd better go back. When I think about the young emperor's angry face, I can't even eat. If you can't eat, give it all to me, Tang Bao said without raising his head. He had made up his mind not to go back. After eating, we'll buy some snacks and go back. Watching TV while eating snacks is the most beautiful thing in the world. Tang Bao said, Actually, you're nervous too, right? Is that possible? Tang Bao ate with a sullen face. Because you're in a hurry. You're afraid that the young emperor will catch you halfway. Is this the first time you know what kind of person I am? I'm not afraid of anything. Tang Bao almost raised his hand and said, I used to believe that, but I don't believe it now. Wan Malay said calmly, Why? You're not afraid of anything, except for the young emperor. Wan Malay, you're destroying my prestige. Tang Bao was unhappy. Just take me in for one night, just one night. Tang Bao raised his thin index finger. Just one night was enough. He really just wanted to hide for a while. He had a home, but couldn't go back. Was there anyone more miserable than him? Chapter 285. Wan Malay leaned over and asked in a low voice, Is the young master really that powerful? What does it have to do with you? Don't stay at my place anymore. Wan Malay almost slammed the table. I'll stay. In the end, Tang Bao still went to Wan Malay's rented house, shamelessly. It's so comfortable. Tang Bao fell on the sofa. F***CK. Change my shoes. Juan Malay roared. I'm sorry. Tang Bao got up and changed his shoes. However, he was cursing in his heart. After Tang Bao changed his shoes, he couldn't relax immediately. Tang Bao called Di Hao Yen in time. Di Hao Yen. Juan Malay said that she's afraid of sleeping alone at night and asked me to accompany her for one night. Just one night. I'll go back tomorrow. You know, she's timid. As her only friend, I can't not accompany her, right? You feel bad about it, don't you? Di Hao Yen, are you listening? She said a lot. Shouldn't he at least give her a response? However, the other party's silence sent a chill down Tang Bao's spine. It was as if Di Hao Yen's chill could be felt through the phone. It made her especially terrified. After waiting for a long time, she heard Di Hao Yen's deep and unfathomable voice. Got it. By then, after Tang Bao ended the call, he was still in a daze and disbelief. Di Hao Yen agreed so easily. He forgave her for standing him up so easily. It really didn't seem like it. She thought that Di Hao Yen would threaten her and say something scary. Who knew that he didn't say anything? It was unbelievable. Could it be that Di Hao Yen was enlightened? It must be so. How is it? Will the young master get angry and ask you to go back? Juan Malay asked as she looked at Tang Bao, who walked out of the balcony with a complicated expression. No, he agreed, Tang Bao said. Just as you wish. Yeah, I'm free. Tang Bao happily plopped down on the sofa. She thought of something and said, Juan Malay, why don't you look for a bigger house? Can you reserve a room for me? I'll share it with you. What do you think? I'm not willing. Why? I keep feeling that something is wrong. What's wrong? Tang Bao asked. With the young master's personality, would he really let you live outside? Juan Malay voiced his doubts. In fact, Tang Bao also found it strange. But Di Hao Yen did say that just now. Maybe he thinks that one night is fine. Tang Bao felt that there was nothing wrong with what he said. That was probably the case. The two of them soon stopped discussing this issue. Play when you need to, eat when you need to. Just as the two of them were discussing which star was in the movie, there was a knock on the door. Juan Malay was stunned. Who's looking for me? My neighbor. Tang Bao stared at the TV and said without turning his head. Juan Malay stood up and went to open the door. Standing in front of the door, she first looked through the peephole, and then her expression froze. She turned around and looked at Tang Bao, who was still staring at the TV. She wasn't prepared to tell her, but she wasn't prepared to open the door either. She returned to the sofa and sat down. Who is it? Tang Bao asked. My neighbor. Why don't I hear you open the door? Tang Bao found it strange. It's open? Didn't you hear it? Tang Bao shook his head. Maybe I was too focused on the TV and didn't hear it. Before he could finish speaking, there was another knock on the door. Another neighbor? Tang Bao asked. It must be. A very annoying neighbor. Don't worry about it. Juan Malay waved her hand, looking annoyed. Tang Bao felt that Juan Malay was strange, but he didn't ask much. He continued to stuff food into his mouth and watch TV. Then, there was another knock on the door. Still, no one answered. He-Ju, who was standing outside the door, heard the sound of the TV inside. Just now, someone had clearly come to open the door, but when they saw her outside, they deliberately didn't open it. If you don't open the door, I'll kick it. The soundproofing in the house was not good. He-Ju's voice crept in through the crack of the door. It was very clear. Tang Bao recognized who it was. Juan Malay was worried that her poor door would really be kicked, so she immediately jumped up to open the door. As soon as the door opened, she questioned, Why did you kick my door? How did I offend you? You want to open it, He-Ju said coldly. I didn't hear anyone knocking on the door. Of course, I won't open it. Juan Malay played dumb. I heard that you were afraid to sleep alone at night. The young master asked me to guard you and let the young madam go back to the castle, He-Ju said. Juan Malay turned around and looked at the sofa. It was empty. Tang Bao immediately hid behind the sofa when he heard He-Ju's voice outside. She felt that He-Ju was here to take her back. In fact, that was true. But He-Ju wanted to guard Juan Malay. This was really romantic. Juan Malay walked to the sofa and directly pulled Tang Bao out. Why are you pulling me out? Tang Bao protested. At this time, Juan Malay didn't care about their friendship anymore. She pulled Tang Bao in front of Ju and said, I'll give you her, but you don't have to guard me anymore. Wan Malay, what do you mean? Did I say I'm going back? Tang Bao was extremely shocked. Do you think you have a choice? Wan Malay asked. Ju's people were already here. Would Di Hao Yin be far away? However, Tang Bao was unwilling and stubborn. Why don't I have a choice? I live here. Young madam, the young master is in the car, Ju said. Tang Bao's face stiffened. Her thin fingers pointed outside. Outside? Yes. So, do you have a choice? I think you'd better go down obediently. Otherwise, I'll skin you alive. Wan Malay didn't think that she was scaring her. It was very likely. Tang Bao's little heart trembled. She weighed her options, then lowered her head and went back to take her bag and phone. She lowered her head and walked past Wan Malay and Ju and left. Looking at Tang Bao walking away, Wan Malay saw that Ju was still standing upright outside the door. She asked curiously, Why aren't you leaving? I just said that I'll watch over you. Ju said again patiently. I don't need it. Didn't you say that you can't sleep at night because you're afraid? That's Tang Bao, not me, Wan Malay corrected. After saying that, Ju still stood there and didn't leave. Why aren't you leaving? This is the young master's order. Wan Malay had never seen such a stubborn person. I don't need it. Didn't you hear me? I've never been afraid to sleep at night. Ju turned his back and turned a deaf ear. If you want to stand, then stand. I'm going to sleep. Wan Malay closed the door directly. Then, she took her pajamas and went to take a shower. Chapter 286. The half-bright, half-dark light was like a beast hibernating in the dark night. It was waiting for its prey to come forward and take it down without warning. The bodyguard opened the car door, and Tang Bao saw the dark figure sitting inside. She couldn't ignore it even from a distance. Tang Bao walked up to the car slowly. Di Hao Yan's chiseled face was extremely cold and hard. His sharp black eyes were looking at her, as calm as a cold lake. Di Hao Yan, why are you here? Didn't I say that I'm here to accompany Wan Malay? Did you agree? Tang Bao said carefully with a smile after getting into the car. Since she's afraid at night, let Ju guard her. This way, you don't have to stay here. Is there a problem? Di Hao Yan stared at her with his evil eyes. There was a sense of danger in them. Tang Bao didn't dare to say no. She smiled and said, No problem, no problem. Di Hao Yan didn't say anything. His sharp eyes were locked on Tang Bao. Tang Bao's small body shrank by the car door. She felt that she had nowhere to escape to. Wan Malay finished showering and walked to the door. Through the peephole, she saw that the person outside was still there. She didn't believe that this person could stand here for the whole night. Wan Malay went back to her room. After Tang Bao returned to the castle, she went straight to her room. Anyway, the pressure in the car made her suffocate. She was worried the whole way. She didn't know that she would be treated like this when she came back. Anyway, she was well behaved all the way back to her room. Even his breathing seemed to be stable. She was afraid that she would light a fuse. Tang Bao was about to go to bed. Di Hao Yan's voice was heard. You're not showering? I'm not showering today. Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Yan really liked to be clean. He showered every day from head to toe, as if there was something dirty on his body. Don't sleep if you don't shower. Di Hao Yan frowned. Then you wash first. Tang Bao knew that she could not escape from Di Hao Yan's domineering attitude. Therefore, he could only obediently accept his fate. Di Hao Yan glanced at her coldly. Tang Bao's little heart immediately activated its defensive mechanism, and his eyes flickered. Actually, I've already showered when I was at Wan Malay's place. Really? Di Hao Yan asked faintly. Tang Bao felt that there was hope to fool Di Hao Yan. So he immediately said, as if it was true, I really washed it. I still smell like shower gel. Is that so? Di Hao Yan approached Tang Bao. Tang Bao immediately panicked. Didn't you say it smelled like shower gel? Are you lying? Di Hao Yan narrowed his sharp eyes and approached her. It's fine as long as I say yes, right? Do you not trust me? Di Hao Yan directly pulled her into his arms. Tang Bao staggered. She was furious. Was there anything Di Hao Yan couldn't do? Oh, bastard, bastard, bastard. The oxygen was getting thinner and thinner. Tang Bao could not stand still, and her whole body swayed slightly. Just as she was about to fall, Di Hao Yin directly picked her up by the waist. He carried her into the bathroom in a princess carry. The shower had already been turned on, and the bathroom was filled with mist, just like a painting. After entering the bathroom, Tang Bao was drenched in hot water, and her whole body was completely awake. Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Yin's chiseled face with her heart beating like a drum. He was handsome and devilishly handsome. Have you forgotten what you said during the day? Di Hao Yin's voice was low and hoarse, and it reverberated in the room through the mist. Tang Bao gulped. Did I? When? Do you need me to remind you? No, no. Tang Bao laughed dryly. Tang Bao felt that she was overestimating herself, but she forced herself to hold on. Do you still need to ask? Di Hao Yin's deep eyes stared at Tang Bao, who had no way out. He liked to see her panicking because of him. She was obviously very nervous, but she forced herself to hold on. But I still have one more thing. Tang Bao felt that her mind was in a mess, and it was not easy for her to squeeze out a topic. Speak. Di Hao Yin reached out and squeezed her hands. It's about what I told you about Yu Lianlian. You have to let others go. Satisfy me, Di Hao Yin said very easily. He seemed very relaxed. But for Tang Bao, it was too unacceptable. Smoke filled the bathroom. Chapter 287. There were also all the clothes that were thrown on the ground. They were soaked through, and no one cared about them anymore. After Tang Bao washed up, she was carried out of the bathroom and placed on the bed. When she was in the bathroom, Tang Bao was suffocated by the hot air inside. She was so hot that she felt dizzy. After she was placed on the bed, she felt the slightly cool air and became slightly conscious. She felt that she was on the bed and was even being hugged from behind. She could not help but frown. Di Hao Yin, give me a glass of hot water. Tang Bao's throat was slightly hoarse. Di Hao Yin held her hands tightly and said in a low voice, "No need." Tang Bao turned her head in shock and stared at Di Hao Yin. Are you still angry? Don't you feel it? Every corner of Tang Bao's face showed great forbearance. She then shouted, "If you're angry, then be angry." After shouting, she wanted to run away. However, she cannot break free at all. Di Hao Yin, let go of me. Tang Bao tried to break free with her hands, but she could not. Don't you still have strength? Tang Bao's whole body stiffened. Her face was red with anger. How can I not have any strength at all? I'll give you a day off tomorrow, Di Hao Yin suddenly said. Why are you giving me a day off? Tang Bao did not understand the meaning behind Di Hao Yin's words. Because you'll be very tired tomorrow. Tang Bao felt that she could not use force, so she changed her strategy and admitted defeat. Di Hao Yin, I beg you, you can't do this to me. Otherwise, I won't have to do anything. I can only do this every day. You can't marry a wife who does nothing, right? How can that be? You have the greatest credit. You don't have to do anything. It's better than doing anything. But I feel uneasy in my heart. You know, I used to have a dream to be a perfect housewife. Tang Bao's heart was filled with tears. What housewife? And it was perfect. Raise your head. Di Hao Yin hooked Tang Bao's chin with his hand. Tang Baojin raised her head and looked at the paper with the 3 obediences and 4 virtues on the wall. What did you see? I'm blind. I can't see. Yes, Tang Bao wished that he was blind. What Di Hao Yin meant couldn't have been clearer. Tang Bao still wants to beg for mercy. Di Hao Yin breathed heavily. What did you call me? Wan Malay woke up in the middle of the night. He thought of Iju, who was still standing at the door, and thought that the person should have left. He couldn't possibly be standing there all the time, right? Although he thought so, he still got up from the bed. He turned on the lights in the living room. She walked to the door and looked through the peephole. OF*CK. It was still there. Does this person not need to sleep? Did he really want to stand all night? Wan Malay felt very confused. This was the first time she encountered such a situation. This kind of person. Wan Malay opened the door and was about to speak when she found He Ju leaning against the wall with his arms crossed and his eyes closed. Wan Malay moved her face closer. She was shocked. This person can fall asleep standing up? He's so powerful. Just when she wanted to poke him with her finger to see if he would fall, his eyes opened. Wan Malay sucked in a breath of cold air and immediately took a step back. What do you want? He Ju turned to look at her. He didn't look sleepy, as if he wasn't asleep at all. You woke up in fright? So, you really don't dare to sleep alone at night. How can I sleep when you keep standing outside my door? Let me tell you, I've never woken up in the middle of the night, ever since you stood outside my door. Wan Malay said agitatedly and asked, Are you leaving? He Ju didn't say anything. Are you really going to stand here all night? He Ju still didn't say anything. Wan Malay was speechless. How about this? Don't stand outside. You can sleep on the sofa in my living room. Before she could finish, He Ju turned and walked into the living room. Wan Malay stared at the person who walked in. She hadn't finished her sentence? This person was too rude. Was he waiting for her to say that? Wan Malay closed the door and walked forward with a sneer. Do you want to take a shower while you're at it? He Ju looked back at her. What do you want to do? Wan Malay couldn't believe He Ju's eyes. She was so angry that she laughed. What do you think I'll do to you? Do you think I'll humiliate you? Let me tell you, I have someone I like. Don't think too much, okay? After saying that, she rolled her eyes at him. She turned back to the room and slammed the door. Wan Malay thought that this person was really interesting. She let him in because she didn't want to sleep thinking that there was someone standing outside. Anyone would feel uncomfortable, right? When Tang Bao woke up, it was almost noon. As soon as she woke up, she regained her senses. She was the only one on the bed. She didn't know when Di Hao Yin got up. She didn't know at all. She was really too tired. Tang Bao couldn't imagine how Di Hao Yin survived the first 3 months of his marriage. It was amazing. Tang Bao supported herself and sat up. She was so sore that she grimaced, especially her hand. Tang Bao looked up and saw the 3 obedience and 4 virtues on the wall. It was really eye-catching. The 3 obedience and 4 virtues were all on the wall. It was even scarier than the school rules in high school. The more Tang Bao looked at it, the angrier she became. She got up and reached out to tear the 3 obedience and 4 virtues down. However, just as her hand touched the 3 obedience and 4 virtues, the air surged. Di Hao Yin's tall figure appeared in the bedroom and looked at her sharply. Tang Bao's hand froze there. Didn't you go to tea? Why don't you tear it? Di Hao Yin leaned lazily against the door and asked expressionlessly, What if I tear it? Then do you like weak hands or weak legs? Di Hao Yin asked calmly. Chapter 288. A soft hand is a punishment. I'm sure you know what it means to have soft legs. His calm tone was filled with endless danger. Tang Bao's hand froze in the air. Then she touched the 3 obedience and 4 virtues and said with a smile, I didn't want to tear it. I was just worried that it would fall, so I wanted to stick it closer. Don't worry. Even if it falls, it's your responsibility. You have to bear the consequences. Di Hao Yin continued to look at her indifferently. Could Tang Bao not understand Di Hao Yin's words? She didn't want to discuss this topic with him anymore. If they continued to discuss it, she might not go to the company for 3 days. Tang Bao sat down. She felt that her whole body was weak after kneeling for a while. And the person who made her so miserable was the person in front of her. She couldn't do anything to him. Why didn't you go to tea? Aren't you going? Tang Bao asked. I'll go in the afternoon. Tang Bao wanted to sleep after lunch. She didn't sleep much the whole night. She was especially sleepy now. Di Hao Yin looked at Tang Bao from top to bottom with a sense of oppression. Tang Bao looked at him with a lack of oxygen in her head. She thought to herself, so be it. I'm so tired and sleepy. I won't miss you. Tang Bao closed her eyes and fell asleep. She didn't know when Di Hao Yin left the room. She was so sleepy that she couldn't even open her eyes. When Tang Bao woke up, it was almost 4 o'clock. She yawned and turned over. Her body was much better than it was in the morning. She couldn't fall asleep even if she lay down. Tang Bao got out of bed. Her feet were still a little light when she landed. Di Hao Yin was simply crazy. Tang Bao felt that it was fortunate that her physical fitness was not bad. However, she also realized that Di Hao Yin would be in a good mood and feel refreshed. Would she have to live like this every day in the future? Tang Bao felt that life was gloomy just thinking about it. No, it was darkness. When Di Hao Yin looked at her, there was only darkness in her eyes. Tang Bao took the phone and saw that there were missed calls from Juan Malay. She didn't hear it. Was she sleeping too soundly? Just as he was thinking about this, a message came in. Juan Malay, what are you busy with? You didn't even return my calls? Tang Bao wondered why there was no sound. When he looked at his phone again, he saw that it was on silent mode. She never knew how to mute her phone. No matter how he thought about it, it was probably Di Hao Yin's handiwork. So he was worried that she would be disturbed? Tang Bao had a sweet smile on her face. Tang Bao called Juan Malay. Juan Malay's voice came through the phone. What are you busy with? Are you not coming to the company again today? I'm very busy. I won't be going today. Are you really busy or can't get out of bed? Juan Malay mocked. What? Why are you in such a hurry to find me? Tang Bao wouldn't tell her that he was grounded by Di Hao Yin. It was too embarrassing. After all, she used to be someone that most people in school didn't dare to provoke. When it came to Di Hao Yin, Tang Bao almost forgot his former glory. Let me tell you, Hiju is too scary. He was at my place yesterday. What? Did he make a move on you? No way. Tang Bao interrupted Juan Malay anxiously. He was quite shocked. Can you let me finish? Juan Malay asked in despair. Go on, go on. Tang Bao looked at the sky. Didn't he say yesterday that he was ordered by the young master to stand at my place all the time? He did say that. Tang Bao was still there at that time. He really stood at my door all the time. Hey, don't you think it's very scary? Juan Malay asked. It seems a little. What happened after that? Based on her understanding of Juan Malay, things wouldn't be so simple. Then I let him go into the room to sleep. You guys slept together? Did you give him that pillow of mine, Van Malay? No, you have to buy me another one. I don't like other people's smell on my pillow. Tang Bao said righteously. Can't you let me finish my sentence? Go on, go on. Tang Bao lowered his head and scratched his head with his fingers. I let him sleep on the sofa in the room. Otherwise, I would feel even weirder if I let him stand outside all the time while I sleep inside. If it were you, you would feel weird too. I think it's okay. There are servants on duty not far from Di Hao Yin's door. It doesn't feel too awkward. Tang Bao thought about it and said, How can it be the same? I think it's good like this. It's like being your escort. It gives you a sense of security. I'll give it to you. You go and tell Di Hao Yin. Tang Bao thought quickly. Juan Malay didn't say anything. She wouldn't dare to say such a thing if she didn't want her life. You're in a hurry to find me because of this? Tang Bao asked. I'm thinking Hiju won't come again tonight, right? Can you tell the young master not to let him come? If he comes, I'll be scared to sleep alone at night. Juan Malay wanted to cry, but had no tears. Don't worry about that. I'm confident in Hiju's character. Tang Bao said solemnly. Who asked you about his character? I don't want someone standing outside the door. Then let him sleep in the room, just like last night. Tang Bao didn't think it was a problem. Tang Bao, are you looking for a beating? Huh? Tang Bao's laughter could be heard. Juan Malay's face darkened. Let me tell you, I have someone I like. I don't want others to misunderstand. If that happens, I'll have even less hope. Are you talking about Gu Linshin? Yes. Tang Bao was very sad. What was so good about Gu Linshin? He had a gloomy aura that made people want to stay as far away from him as possible. However, Juan Malay liked this kind of smell. It really made people anxious. At the dinner table, Tang Bao was eating when his phone rang. Before Di Hao Yin came back, she was playing with her phone and watching TV in the living room. Then, she directly put her phone on her and went to eat. Tang Bao took out his phone and saw the number on it. His face froze, and he immediately rejected it. Then he put his phone back in his pocket. He suppressed his panic and ate. His head kept lowered, as if he wanted to bury it in the bowl. Di Hao Yin looked at him coldly. Tang Bao instantly felt a murderous chill. He raised his little eyes slightly, and that sharp gaze made her little heart tremble. His little mouth was tightly pursed. Who called? Chapter 289. D. How Ian's eyes were cold and sharp. Did you look for him? No, absolutely not. Why would I look for him? Even if he deliberately distorted that incident, I didn't question him, really. Tang Bao used to be overjoyed when she heard Di Junbai's name. But now, when she heard it, she panicked all over. Because if Di Hao Ian became scary, then she would panic. She didn't even dare to mention Di Hao Ian's name in front of him now. She used to call him Brother Junbai, then Di Junbai, and now your little brother. What else could she do? She was also very pitiful, okay? However, there was something even more terrifying. Just as Tang Bao was trying to make Di Hao Ian believe her, her phone rang again. She wanted to smash the phone. Give it to me. Di Hao Ian's voice was deep. The air was so intimidating that it surged. When Tang Bao saw that the caller ID was still Di Junbai, she hurriedly threw the phone to Di Hao Ian to stay away from trouble. However, when she saw Di Hao Ian pick up the call directly, her watery eyes suddenly widened. What was going on? Why did he pick up the call? She didn't give him the phone for him to pick up? Di Hao Ian seemed to have sensed Tang Bao's resentment and shot a sharp look at her. Tang Bao curled into a ball and immediately became listless. Tang Bao, who didn't pick up my call just now. Are you still angry with me? I'm very sorry about what happened last time. I shouldn't have done that and caused such a big misunderstanding between you and my brother. Actually, I did that because I wanted you to be happy in the future. I just wanted to test how much my brother cares about you. If he really doesn't want you because of an accident, then we don't need such a marriage. Of course, I also have my own selfish motives. If he doesn't want you, I won't give up on you. These were my heartfelt words as well. But now, I don't need to be selfish anymore. It's been proven that my brother cares a lot about you. I don't think I have any regrets anymore. Di Junbai said all the words in his heart in one breath. Di Hao Ian's face was cold and his dark eyes were gloomy. I've heard it. You don't need to call her anymore. With that, Di Hao Ian hung up the phone. He tossed his phone aside. Tang Bao glanced at her phone but did not take the initiative to ask for it. She ate obediently, as if she had been wronged. After Emperor Bai hung up the phone, he stood on the lawn and looked into the distance. His face was so calm that no one could tell what he was thinking. Sensing that someone was approaching from behind, his eyes narrowed slightly. Lan Wanru stepped forward and said, Bro, are you calling the Tang Bao? It's not very nice of you to eavesdrop on my phone like that. Di Junbai said, but his tone wasn't harsh. It was just a little reproachful. I didn't hear everything. This doesn't count as eavesdropping, right? Lan Wanru said with a smile. Then he asked, how are the Tang Bao and Brother Hao Ian now? Are they still in a cold war? Come to think of it, which man would allow his wife to do such a thing? Even if it was an accident, there would still be a knot in his heart. What if I say that the two of them have already buried the hatchet? Di Junbai asked. What? That's impossible. How could Brother Hao Ian be willing to tolerate such a thing? If you don't believe me, you can go and verify it. Since Di Junbai said so, it meant that he had given Lan Wanru a truthful answer. But how could Lan Wanru accept it? He simply couldn't believe it. That was Di Hao Ian, wasn't it? Whoever dared to betray him would not have a good ending. How could Di Hao Ian even tolerate Tang Bao's betrayal? Is there a misunderstanding somewhere? Didn't you and Tang Bao have a physical relationship? Brother Hao Ian clearly knows about it. How could he accept Tang Bao? Don't you think she's dirty? Lan Wanru said agitatedly. Is what you said true? Dealing Yue's shocked voice came over. Di Junbai and Lan Wanru were both stunned. Di Junbai immediately said, That's not true. Although I'm old, I'm not deaf. Tell me what's going on. Di Lingyue asked Lan Wanru. Lan Wanru glanced at Di Junbai and felt that this matter couldn't be covered up at all. After a short pause, he said, Last time, I was imprisoned by Brother Hao Ian because of the gathering in the villa, Tang Bao, and I had a physical relationship. Di Lingyue's expression changed and asked Di Junbai, Is this true? Don't ask about this matter. It's already over. Di Junbai said, What do you mean over? This matter is very serious. What is this called? Tang Bao is really shameless. She betrayed Hao Ian and still has the face to stay in the D family? Di Lingyue said with an ugly expression. I think so too. Also, Uncle Dino, Brother Hao Yin actually accepted Tang Bao. I can't believe it. Lan Wanru said. Di Lingyue's expression was filled with anger as he turned and left. Why are you telling him all this? Di Junbai asked. Shouldn't I say it? How could the Di family keep a woman like Tang Bao? If outsiders knew, what would they think of the Di family? Di Junbai didn't say anything. He turned around and looked into the distance. There was a glow in his eyes that was no longer calm. After Tang Bao finished her meal, she wanted to go outside to play on the swing. Just as she walked out of the door, she heard two maids whispering. Young Madam and young Master Junbai already had such a thing going on, but young Master D is still willing to accept it. Doesn't he feel a thorn in his heart? You don't know this, right? This means that young Master D truly loves young Madam. Love surpasses everything. That's right. If he didn't love young Madam so much, he wouldn't accept it no matter what. The maid who was talking noticed the person standing behind her, and her face immediately changed. She was so scared that her face turned pale. Then, her legs went weak, and she knelt on the ground with a thud. Tang Bao thought to herself, I'm very dignified, aren't I? Scram! A low and cold voice sounded. Tang Bao was shocked. She turned around and saw Di Hao Yin standing behind her, looking at the maid with a dark expression. The maid was so scared that she immediately left. So, she was forced to use Di Hao Yin's power? She thought that she was so powerful that she would be able to intimidate the maid until her face turned pale. She had been happy for nothing. After the maid left, Tang Bao took a step forward and looked up at Di Hao Yin with a smile. She asked, Did you hear everything just now? Everyone thought that you could even tolerate being betrayed by your wife. Actually, they weren't the only ones who thought that way. Di Hao Yin, what are you thinking? You are very arrogant. Di Hao Yin narrowed his eyes and said evilly. Tang Bao immediately skipped a few steps away from him. She looked at him defensively. Chapter 290. When she thought about how everyone thought that Di Hao Yin's wife had betrayed him and was gossiping about it, she couldn't help but laugh in her heart. Di Hao Yin stretched out his arm and clasped it in front of his chest. Tang Bao was shocked and pouted in protest. Who asked you to be so beautiful? Di Hao Yin narrowed his sharp eyes and stared at her. Tang Bao understood what he meant and punched his broad shoulders. She didn't hit him hard because she didn't want to hurt her hands. I'm not talking about this, but if you don't like it, I'll go for plastic surgery. Then I'll have to go for plastic surgery too. Tang Bao's face turned red and she was dumbfounded. Was this person still human? Di Hao Yin actually thought of it. Indeed, the devil was the scariest. Sister-in-law, I've let you down. I don't know how to explain it to you and my brother. Di Lingyue started to cry before he even entered the house. Yu Songhuan, who was sitting on the sofa and drinking tea, couldn't help but frown. He looked at Di Lingyue, who came in, and asked, What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I know I'm losing my composure now, but I feel terrible. How did something like this happen to the Di family? Di Lingyue sat down on the sofa and felt heartache again. Yu Songhuan was stunned when he heard about the Di family. What happened to the Di family? Family scandal, family scandal. I can't even say it. Di Lingyue lowered his head and looked like he couldn't accept it. Why did you come here if I didn't say it? Yu Songhuan asked him. She was also anxious. What happened to the Di family that made Di Lingyue come here to say it? Other than her son, she didn't care about anyone else. It's like this. Junbai was imprisoned by Hao Yin for no reason. I didn't understand what happened and only found out today that Tang Bao betrayed Hao Yin and had that thing with Junbai. I let my brother down. I'm sorry, Hao Yin. Di Lingyue started to regret. What happened? Yu Songhuan didn't understand for a moment because it was too ridiculous. Last month, Tang Bao and Junbai, what did you say? Yu Songhuan stood up abruptly, his face ashen. Even the teacup in his hand fell to the ground. Bang! It was smashed into pieces. Sister-in-law, don't be agitated. Di Lingyue consoled her. Lingyue, you're already so old. Don't say things without evidence. If that really happened, how could Hao Ian treat her well? Yu Songhuan recalled that when he went to the castle a few days ago, Di Hao Ian said that he wanted to have a child with Tang Bao. Everything seemed to be fine. How could it be as bad as what Di Lingwei said? I can't believe it either. It was only later that I found out. It was true that Junbai had been imprisoned by the Hao Ian. If you don't believe it, you can check it out. Yu Songhuan looked at Di Lingwei with an ashen face. He couldn't say a word. If Di Lingwei was lying, it couldn't be investigated. But he was confident. I think you don't have to check it out. Just ask a servant in the castle, and you'll know. Yu Songhuan fell onto the sofa. The servant standing behind her immediately supported her. "Old madam, take care of yourself." What a misfortune. Yu Songhuan was furious. "Yes, I didn't teach my son well and let this happen to them. So I came to confess to you as soon as I found out." "Sister-in-law, calm down. It's my fault," Di Lingwei said. Yu Songhuan even turned her face majestically and looked at her. "Didn't you come here just to make me angry? Sister-in-law, why would I? You can go. I'm tired." Yu Songhuan didn't want to talk to him. "Then I'll go back first. Sister-in-law, take care of yourself." Di Lingwei stood up and left. Yu Songhuan supported his head with his hand. He felt a headache coming on. She was trying to convince herself to accept the Tang Bao. After all, if her son wanted it, she couldn't stop him. But what was going on now? Di Hao Ian didn't say anything and even treated the Tang Bao well. Was this what it meant to swallow the bitterness? How could she accept a daughter-in-law like the Tang Bao with such a bad character? "Call Hao Ian," Yu Songhuan said. Yes, sister-in-law Wang was about to go, but Yu Songhuan stopped her. "Forget it. Don't call him." Di Hao Ian wanted to hide this matter. If she asked him personally, Di Hao Ian would definitely deny it. Look at how peaceful the world was now. Wasn't he just keeping this matter a secret? Yu Songhuan really hated the Tang Bao. If it wasn't for her, Di Hao Ian wouldn't have been humiliated like this. The more Yu Songhuan thought about it, the more uncomfortable he felt. Why was there a meeting so early in the morning? The key was that Tang Bao insisted on entering the meeting room because she wanted to be a leader in the company. Then, the meeting went on for 2 hours. Her body, which had been ravaged last night, felt like she was sitting on pins and needles after sitting for half an hour. She was really sitting on pins and needles. She sat until Tang Bao's face turned pale. Wan Malay leaned forward and asked in a low voice, "Do you want it in the meeting?" "No need." Tang Bao shook her head. Zhou Jisen looked at Tang Bao, who was sitting sideways in her chair, and didn't say anything. After the meeting, everyone left the meeting room. "Oh my God!" Tang Bao immediately stood up and rubbed her waist. "Tang Bao." Wan Malay returned to the meeting room. Tang Bao was so scared that she removed her hand from her waist and looked at Wan Malay calmly. "What? Aren't you feeling unwell? Why are you still here? Why do you care?" Tang Bao said angrily. Seeing Wan Malay trying to hold back her laughter, she couldn't hold it in anymore. "Laugh if you want to. Don't hold it in." "No. I mean, why are you torturing yourself like this? No one forced you to come to the meeting room." Wan Malay tried to hold back her laughter. "As the leader of the company, how can I not come? Am I that kind of person?" Tang Bao asked. She thought for a moment. "Is it time to eat?" Wan Malay cursed in her heart. "Damn, you came to the company just to wait for food. Is there a leader like you?" "I still have to organize the meeting minutes," Wan Malay said. "How long will it take?" "About 10 minutes." "Okay, I'll wait for you downstairs." She wanted to walk around. She pretended to walk normally and walked past Wan Malay out of the office. Wan Malay looked at Tang Bao's stiff posture and felt that she had had enough. So many people wanted to, but didn't have the chance. Chapter 291. A luxurious black car stopped in front of her. Tang Bao was stunned for a moment and immediately turned around to leave. Without waiting for the bodyguards, Gu Linshin got out of the car. Tang Bao turned around and was scared out of her wits. She immediately ran away. Then, she realized that something was wrong. She should be running towards the company. Why did she run out instead? Could she outrun Gu Linshin's long legs? Not to mention, he still had his subordinates following him like a shadow. She was really running away in a panic. Gu Linxin grabbed Tang Bao. Tang Bao screamed and was pushed into the corridor next to the company. Tang Bao went in and wanted to run out, but she was blocked by Gu Linxin's body. Gu Linxin, get out of my way! Tang Bao wanted to get away, but Gu Linxin reached out and pushed her. Tang Bao did not have much strength in her body, so Gu Linxin did not use much strength. She could not stand it. She took a few steps back and pulled her arm. Gu Linxin sneered and approached her. You don't look well. Do you want me to take a look at you? Tang Bao panicked and stepped back. I'm fine. I don't need you to take a look at me. Really? I heard that your relationship with Di Haoyan has improved tremendously while I was away. Tang Bao did not want to talk to her about her relationship with Di Haoyan. Her relationship with Di Haoyan had nothing to do with him. Tang Bao could not move forward, so she ran back. However, she was caught the moment she took a step. Gu Linxin, let go of me. Tang Bao was pushed against the wall, and her back hurt. Gu Linxin looked at her and stopped her from moving. He asked coldly, why aren't you running anymore? Gu Linxin, don't mess around. Don't forget that you're friends with Di Haoyan. Haven't you heard that you shouldn't flirt with your friend's wife? Tang Bao suppressed his panic and said, Then, do you know that I've already made up my mind to break up with Di Haoyan for you? What did you say? Tang Bao could not believe what he had just heard. His petite face was filled with astonishment. Are you kidding me? Tell me, is it Di Haoyan? Gu Linxin's eerie aura was completely unrestrained. Tang Bao had not recovered from the shock and was irritated by such a question. He pushed Gu Linxin hard. However, other than dissipating his strength, it didn't help him at all. Gu Linxin, calm down. I'm married. Don't you think you're too tasteless? Tang Bao was furious. Did God have to tease her like this? She had just dealt with Di Junbai, and now there was Gu Linxin. Moreover, it was obvious that Gu Linxin was much more troublesome and difficult to deal with than Di Junbai. You haven't answered my question. Gu Linxin's tone was forceful. Why should I answer your question? Who are you? It was as if a snake had coiled around her. Gu Linxin asked, I'll ask again. Is it Di Haoyan? Tang Bao was furious. Aren't you asking nonsense? Who else could it be other than him? Do you like it? Gu Linxin asked again. Are you satisfied? Tang Bao was about to go crazy. Was he asking her to tell Gu Linxin about her sexual relationship with Di Haoyan? But why couldn't she say it? Therefore, she blushed and said angrily, I like it very much. I'm very satisfied, okay? Gu Linxin, are you crazy? Her arm was about to be broken. It was definitely bruised. What did you say? I'm disgusted. Gu Linxin asked. Tang Bao looked at Gu Linxin in shock and wariness. Was this person going to do something terrible to her? God, someone come and strike him to death. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Gu Linxin, I didn't say that you're disgusting. I was just joking. How could I say that you're disgusting? Tang Bao quickly softened and smiled apologetically. Otherwise, if no one came to save her, wouldn't she have to save herself? Tang Bao suppressed the trembling of her body. Of course, this trembling was not from comfort, but from fear. But when did she have that intention? Don't twist my understanding, okay? Tang Bao suppressed her flustered emotions and reached out her small hand to gently pat Gu Linxin's shoulder. She said with a smile, It's broad daylight. If you want to think about it, it's not now, right? There's still a long way to go. Gu Linxin did not hide it. Tang Bao was dumbfounded. No matter how she comforted him, it did not work. Next time? I'm hungry now. Gu Linxin smiled. Tang Bao felt that he might as well not smile. It made her nervous. Don't worry. Even if you follow me, no one will find out. Tang Bao could only chuckle. She was speechless. At this moment, what are you doing? Tang Bao froze. She turned her head and saw Wan Malay not far away, looking at them in shock. At this moment, and Tang Bao's hand was on Gu Linxin's shoulder. No matter how she looked at it, it was obvious what was going on. Malay, it's not what you think. Tang Bao immediately retracted her hand and pushed Gu Linxin away forcefully. She ran in front of Wan Malay. Malay, don't misunderstand. Listen to me from the beginning to the end. Yes, tell her clearly when we started. Gu Linxin walked over and put his hand on Tang Bao's shoulder again. It was very intimate. It would only make one Malay misunderstand. Gu Linxin, are you crazy? Tang Bao shook his hand away. Malay, don't listen to his nonsense. You don't need to explain to me. That's your business. Besides, if you want to explain, you should explain to the young master. Wan Malay finished speaking and turned to leave. Malay, Tang Bao called out to her. Wan Malay ignored her and ran away. Tang Bao closed her eyes. She hurt Wan Malay's heart, and she also felt very bad. And all of this was thanks to Gu Linxin, that bastard. Since you're hungry, go and eat something. Let's go. Gu Linxin made a mess of things and said this. Then he patted her and left. Tang Bao simply couldn't believe what he was seeing. This person, most importantly, how was she going to explain it to Wan Malay? Even if she didn't have any misunderstanding with Gu Linxin had been pestering her from the beginning. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.